Welcome inside Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're in Bucktown, Lackawanna County. Tonight, it's a Lackawanna Football Conference crossover matchup between our Friday night rivals, team number 5, Lackawanna Trail, and the Dunmore Bucks. A pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide. Amanda Kuhl will join us shortly on the sidelines, and in the booth with me for the second time this year is Jan Sechak. And Jan, already the halfway point of the season. As we look at Lackawanna Trail, they're undefeated. But if you look at who they played, those opponents are only 5-11 on the season. Tonight will be a big test for the Lions against the Bucks.
It really will be. Coach Jervis really wants to get that wing T offense moving against a really solid, big Bucks defense. So this is going to be a great game tonight, folks.
The wing T, they feature a lot of running backs, but our Manuka Subaru spotlight player is leading the way, Lucas Gumble.
Lucas Gumble, 6 foot, 200-pound running back, linebacker. He is just dynamite. He's averaging 11 yards a carry, 460 yards on the year, 6 touchdowns, and he also has an interception.
For the Dunmore Bucks, we saw them against Mount Carmel. They lost right here, but they've rebounded. Big win last week at Riverside, and in that game, our other Manuka Subaru spotlight player, Daniel Piga, had a big night.
He certainly did. Daniel Piga, 6 foot, 180 pounds, speedster, plays wide receiver and D-back. He is multifaceted on offense. He can run the ball. He's got 267 yards and a touchdown. He's also received for 167 and 2 touchdowns. And more importantly, he's also has a pick 6 on the year, and he's a killer on special teams.
As we do every week, we talk to the coaches. They give us their keys to the game. Up first, the Lions.
Well, Coach Jervis wants to control the line of scrimmage, and he also wants his defense to get set and aligned fast so their defense can really wreak havoc against the Bucks.
And our Toyota keys for Dunmore?
For Dunmore, Coach McHale wants to cut down on the mental mistakes that they've had, and he also really wants to show what they can do offensively.
Oh, I hear the rain is coming, but it will not be here tonight. Let's check in now with Mike Susko from the Fox 56 News, first at 10.
Good Friday evening, Bob. Tonight we're going to be seeing those clouds increase as we go throughout the game here, but at least it is going to be dry. Kickoff temperatures probably right around 62 degrees here, and then as we go into halftime, we'll drop down into the 50s. You can see by the end of the game, I think we'll be around 57 here. But overall, for Lackawanna Trail versus Dunmore tonight, I think we're going to say holding onto some decent weather here. It will be dry, but we will see those clouds, but they're not going to interfere with us too much here. And tomorrow morning, as you wake up, temperatures will be in the low to mid 50s across the region. However, I am tracking rain thanks to that tropical system that is moving up the coast. We'll talk more about that tonight at 10. But for right now, let's send it back out to you on the field.
A year ago, Dunmore beat Lackawanna Trail 24-7. The Lions, though, trying to remain undefeated in the 2023 season. It's Lackawanna Trail and Dunmore, Friday night rivals. Next.
You're watching Manuka Subaru Friday Night Rivals, sponsored by USA Metal Roofs on MyTV WQMY.
It is Military Appreciation Night. As you saw, both teams are on the field ready to go. Dunmore in their Military Appreciation uniforms tonight. Lackawanna Trail will be in the white uniforms as we get set for high school football here on MyTV WQMY. The third member of our crew, as always, is Amanda Kuhl, and she's down on the sidelines. And Amanda, a lot of family going on here tonight, a family affair between the two teams, and including the referees.
That's right, guys. When you think of a family affair, you think of Lackawanna Trail head coach Jervis, who's joined on the sidelines by his dad as an assistant coach, and both of his sons are on the field, Steven, the quarterback, and his younger brother, Ty. But they're not the only family who's here today. Referee Mike Serra is joined by his sons, Matt and Kevin. Mike has been officiating high school football since 1990, and his sons have been on the field with him for the last 8 years. They've done every game together this season. Guys, how many Serras does it take to run a football game?
Well, evidently three all season in the Lackawanna Football Conference, a very unique situation. There you saw the three of them, the other referees tonight, Jim Miller, Jim Clancy, and Chris DeFalo. We'll see them later on. Lackawanna Trail won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so we'll see the Dunmore Bucks offense take the field first. There you see the khaki uniforms that go around here, courtesy of the Army National Guard. We'll also talk to them a little bit later on in tonight's game. So, Coach, what are you looking for right from the outset? Probably, I would think, I'm going to guess, a lot of running.
That's the safe bet there, Bob. Absolutely. Wing T, Coach Jervis does a tremendous job here in Northeast Pennsylvania running that. Very similar, and I know he gets together with Coach Roth in the offseason, and they kick around ideas. And we know what Dunmore does well. They run that power game like nobody's business, and you know it's coming at you, but you've got to defend it. So this is going to be a great game tonight.
There you see Coach Steve Jervis, 15th season overall. 15th, I should say, at Lackawanna Trail, 20th overall. Two storied programs here that have won numerous Lackawanna Football Conference titles and District 2 titles, and both have a state championship underneath their belt. So it's a big game. Crossover games will conclude this week for both teams as we get ready for our Car Vision Nissan kickoff here. We're underway at Veterans Stadium in Dunmore. Piga, from about his 9 after the fumble, comes up and takes a big hit by Douglas. And that's where the Bucks will have the ball, right inside the 20-yard line. Thomas Bowen, our quarterback tonight, saw him a couple weeks ago. He's putting up good numbers as always. I think the big thing is that 0 at the bottom.
That's huge, and how well he has really embraced this offense, and Coach McHale's coaching of him has shown that they really don't want to put pressure on him to win the game. They just want him to play the game and put him in the best position to be productive.
Yeah, the career, Thomas, 2,600 total yards through the air, 25 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. It's a 4-year starter. So the Bucks, winners of 2 straight after the Mount Carmel loss, handed off to DeSando from behind. We'll see him come out. DeSando, 1 yard on that.
They just run that ISO play to the left side, and you see they just run that fullback right up into the line to pick up the first man they can see in a white jersey, usually the linebacker.
Dunmore rushing for 183 yards per game, 108 through the air, so a little more balanced than you'll see Lackawanna Trail. They do average 24 points on the season. Big game for them as well against a team, and Thomas overthrows Piga out there, so bringing up a 3rd and long already. Let's take a look now at the USA Metal Roofs offense. We talked about Bowen. DeSando, 250 yards on the year, 4 touchdowns. Piga, he'll play wide receiver. You'll see him sometimes in the backfield, Frantic and Conte as well. And this is their strength up front, as we know, Ruther Annalee, Tulio Doherty, and Toludo.
They're big, 242 pounds average across. The big guy is Nathan Ruther with 315 pounds. He plays left tackle, where you want your big guy to protect your blind side quarterback.
So Trail's defense with an opportunity here on the first possession. Bowen has a receiver. In and out of the hands of Piga. Good coverage down there by Isaac Ryan. He may have gotten a hand in it. So the punt team on a 3-and-out on the opening possession for the Bucks.
It's going to be a chess match this first series for both teams. Here we go. We're just a rollout play. Good time, good ball. And you see he just lost concentration. And again, number 10 did a great job. Isaac Ryan did a nice job with that mismatch in height to get that hand in there to poke that ball out.
So Ryan will go back to receive the punt from Sean Gallagher Jr. Good snap, a low line kick, so good field position coming up for the Lions. Right after midfield, there you see it. They're going to down it, and that's not where you want to put Lackawanna Trail. And this highly touted offense, Stephen Jervis is the quarterback. He basically manages the game, can throw it, does throw a nice ball when he can. And again, he's got 4 touchdowns, coach, and 0 interceptions.
And again, this is a wing T offense where they don't have to throw the ball. But when Steve Jervis has thrown the ball, he's been very effective. 4 touchdowns, and again, 215 yards. And again, their big thing is they're rushing for over 200 yards on the ground.
Absolutely, and a lot of weapons in this wing T, coming in, averaging 40 points per game. Jervis comes out, play action. Going to go deep on the first play. Into double coverage, and somehow Max Kimmel, I believe, came down with it. No, it's Lucas Gumbel out of the backfield in double coverage. A huge gain for the Lions.
Well, our spotlight player for the Trail. Look at it. He just does an arc release, gets downfield into between double coverage, and he's just a big, strong, physical kid. 6 foot, 200 pounds. Pulled that ball in, sets him up in great field position inside the red zone.
Well, you think they're going to run on the first play? No, Steve Jervis says we're going to play action at 38 yards. They're inside the red zone. Up ahead for a couple yards, so knocking on the door. Inside the Kelly Mahindra red zone are the Lackawanna Trail Lions.
And you'll see, here we go, Gumbel again. They just run the buck sweep here. Again, he gets hit behind the line of scrimmage by number 9. Tried, but he kept his feet driving. That was Xavier Burke, the right cornerback that came up for Dunmore, and he still dropped him for a short 1-yard gain.
This Lions team, very experienced. We saw them last year. You know, they took their lumps. They have some seniors, a bunch of sophomores. They play some freshmen, but they're all very talented, and they have that experience. Douglas trying to get around the end. Douglas towards the end zone. I think he's about a yard short. He is. It should be a first down, a perfect storm renovations first down for Lions, and it is first and goal.
Again, now they go buck sweep left. Look at the speed and, most importantly, the patience that he possesses on here. He gets right to the outside to 1-yard line. Great run job by the Lackawanna Trail Lions.
Lions off to their best start since 2018, and that year, Coach, they went to the state finals.
They did. They had a great run that year, and I know Coach Jervis and his staff are expecting the same type of results this year, except they want to win states.
Dunmore defense back on their heels. Big push up front. Jervis jumps over. No ruling it. It is a Lions touchdown. Apropos that it's Steven Jervis gets the touchdown because he threw a magnificent pass on the opening play of their drive.
He did. What a great call. And again, watch this surge on the offensive line. They're getting in there, and they got to number 52 right there, got to the second level. That's Colin Owens, the 6 foot, 215-pound sophomore, did a great job going to the second level to block that linebacker to spring Jervis for the quarterback sneak.
Holden Edwards on for the PAT, and it is blocked. So minor victory for the Bucks, but they give up the first score of the game. 9:32 left in the first. Trail out 6-0.
You're watching Friday Night Rivals on my TV, WQFY.
We're making friends at Ghanaian Auto. Yeah, the Trail Lackawanna Trail cheerleaders very happy there. Their team up 4 plays, 52 yards, 6-0 is the score. They will kick things off again. Ryan does the kicking. Pegan DeSanto back to receive, an early hole for the Bucks here on homecoming. High, long kick just inside the 10. That's Piga. And good special teams by him up to the 30-yard line. So, Coach, Dunmore just 3 and out. A good job by the Lackawanna Trail defense, because last week against Honesdale, the Hornets took that opening drive and ran right down the field. Fortunately, unfortunately, and fortunately for the Lions, they fumbled at the 1. Better defense here tonight. They didn't get manhandled on that first possession of the game.
Well, and that was one of the keys to the game. Coach Jervis wanted to make sure that his defense could get a line quickly so they can play fast and aggressive. Now, last series, Dunmore didn't really do any shifting, so it allowed them to that advantage. But their 4-4 defense is really, they're plugging all the holes really quick.
DeSanto finds a hole. It closes quickly, a yard gain at best, and DeSanto is slow, way slow to get up. Let's see the hit here. Oh, he ran into his own guy on the left-hand side.
That was.
And he remains down on the field.
I mean, Jake Hickey was the fullback that was lead blocking in there and did a nice job taking on the D tackle, but wow. Hopefully he's okay. He's moving.
He is moving, and that's a good sign. But he whatever he did, he just hit the helmet wrong or something like that. Coaches tonight, Kevin McHale, right side here. You see his 5th season. Long-time assistant here. Of course, he played here at Dunmore. Steve Jervis, 15th season overall. As I said, 20th overall as a head coach. Two of the nicest coaches we'll see in the Lackawanna Football Conference all year long, and two of the veterans at this point.
They are, and they're both actively involved with the Pennsylvania State Football Coaches Association, where they're always promoting, all the coaches and all the teams to get involved with it. If you want your guys to be recognized at the state level, you've got to pay your dues. Here's a replay on that. Let's see what.
Right there, the helmet at the end.
Yeah.
By Douglas.
That just came in. I mean, that's part of football. But again, both teams, showing concern, especially Trail. Everyone's on the knee.
Anytime you see someone down, we have to talk about Max Engel 2 weeks ago at the Jersey Shore, player who passed away just a week ago today. He got hurt the week before, so 2 weeks ago. So anytime you see a player down, your heart stops. You wonder what happened, but we did see him moving. So that's the positive thing, and he's standing up right now. So football play. Again, we saw that hit. They're holding his arm, so maybe he got hit on the arm that wasn't the head. We don't want to speculate, but you see, that's a tough loss now. Let's talk about the football aspect of it. Losing Dom DeSando, now your starting tailback. What does that do for the Bucks?
Well, when we were here a few weeks ago, we saw that their second tailback came in and ran the ball extremely well. Really fast, not quite as big. And again, he's a young kid, so he's got to spend that time in the weight room. But he's going to gain valuable experience right now back there.
They'll go to 2 wideouts. They'll put Bowen in the shotgun and do a quick snap. And the quarterback at 6'2" moves ahead, and he's up about the 35. So 3rd and manageable coming up. 3rd and 4, actually.
So they go with the speed sweep motion look, try to get the linebackers to flow. They didn't, but Bowen was able to get in there. He picked up 3 yards. Now, again, Bobby just said 3rd and 5, very manageable. And now we know Bowen can throw the ball. Let's see what they do.
Trail's defense giving up 11.5 points per game. They have 9 sacks on the season, 4 interceptions, just about 209 yards they give up. So a big opportunity now. Out into the flat, and it's in and out of the hands of Ryan Mecca, a little bit behind him. 4th down now, and here comes the punt team once again for the Bucks. So no rhythm here early on for Dunmore on offense.
Well, it's hard. It's really difficult to get a rhythm going when you're 3 and out each series. And you see Coach McHale, he's cheering up the team. Come on, let's get going, let's get going. This isn't what they're used to seeing this time. But again, Trail has got a really good defense that they have all those experience back.
So the left-footed kicker, Gallagher. Low liner, but it does take a Dunmore bounce, and it goes to the 32, and that's where the Lions will have it, up 6-0, 8:05 left here in the first quarter.
Well, I think right now, I don't know how aggressive Coach Jervis will be in terms of passing right now, he's on his side of the field. I think we're going to see a lot of buck sweep and probably a fullback trap in there to try to, get them flowing out of there and then tuck that fullback up inside.
So Steve Jervis and company coming out already with a 38-yard pass for Jervis. Back to the wing tee they go. Now the Dunmore defense going to be tested. Gumbel gets the edge. Big hit out there by Piga. About a 5-yard gain. Let's see where they mark it off.
Again, there's that buck sweep where they pull the both guards. 72 and 52 are pulling to the right. And that's just a bread and butter play of the wing tee.
Trail coming off a 39-13 victory over Honesdale a week ago. They opened the season with a big win, what we call it now, over Mid-Valley, 35-13. We know Mid-Valley's 3-1 overall. Inside trap to Patterson, and the fullback brings it into Buck territory down to the 45-yard line. 19-yard gain for the senior.
Well, you'll see this. Oh, great job. I love this end zone shot. You see how that just quick hitter up inside. Like I was saying earlier at the start of this series, that's what they're going to do. They're going to mix it up because once you think you can stop the buck sweep, then they hit you inside. You want to then bring your linebackers in, and then they get you back to the outside.
Double reverse. Dunmore ready for that. Douglas on the inside. Nowhere to go. In fact, lost a yard.
Yep, number 77, Rogan Doherty did a nice job, as did Nathan Ruther in there for the Bucks. Look at the number. Look at that, 59, not moving. He reestablished the line of scrimmage himself. He was the line of scrimmage, allowed his linebackers and defensive ends to make that sack right there at the line of scrimmage.
At 315 pounds, he's probably the first guy in line at the buffet.
And no one's going to move him.
No one's moving him. Gumble with a hole. Has a gap and has some running room. Lucas Gumble into the secondary. Still on his feet. Finally taken down the 2. Ball came out, but they're going to say he was down a huge gain.
There it is again. This is what they do. And Lucas Gumble is just an amazing young man that he's so strong and physical. Look at him. He takes it on, keeps the legs chugging, ball security in there. And, again, the Dunmore Bucks were trying to strip the ball, and he ends up getting a great yardage on that. Now, he's averaged 11 yards a carry coming into this game. I think his stats are going to be going up after that carry.
Inside the Kelly Mahindra red zone. Trail trying to open this one up, and they do. Power forward. Touchdown, Lackawanna Trail. 2 possessions, 2 scores for the undefeated Lions.
They just run the lead play right there. That's where the halfback comes up. They feed the ball to the fullback. You see Lucas Gumble, number 20, did his job. He stepped up to the line of scrimmage, made contact, and the fullback was already in for the touchdown.
So the kicker is on to go for the extra point. Holden Edwards, number 29. Jervis the holder. Last one was blocked. This one they get it out down quickly, and it is no good. So 12-0 the score. 5:36 in the first quarter. The Lions, 2 possessions and 2 really easy scores against this Bucks defense.
They really are making it look very easy running the wing tee. And Coach Jervis and his staff, they've done a tremendous job in the community running that. They do that with their what they call the Little Lions. They're running wing tee down there. So those kids are being exposed to it from 3rd grade all the way up to the high school level.
Okay, Bucks right now, 2 possessions, 2 3-and-outs. What do you want to see better from them right now?
Well, right now, they've got to get a rhythm going here. And I think they're going to probably go with some play-action pass right now. And, again, the tight end really would be a nice little tight end pop pass right now. It would be great to open it up because they're going to be keying on the fullback right now, Hickey. So
yeah, and Piga, too. They got to get him, I think, more in space on the outside. They have the talent. Does Dunmore, and they averaged 24 points per game coming in. Last week they came back to beat Riverside 20-16. They beat Susquehanna 35-12, and we know they lost here 34-7 to Mount Carmel. It's kind of feeling like that again here in Bucktown.
Well, I think I would have to give the edge to Mount Carmel, though, over Trail. I mean, not taking anything away from the Lions at all, but Mount Carmel, they came in here. They were a lot bigger, faster, and stronger. But the way the Lions are playing right now, they're just playing with a lot of confidence. And, again, they have revenge on their mind from the loss last year.
Absolutely.
And the Bucks right now, again, last week they had a slow start, and they were successful. So they don't want to get too far behind this Trail team because they're going to start playing ball control once they start getting more of a lead.
So Ryan has it teed up for the 3rd time tonight for the Car Vision Nissan kickoff. Let's see if Dunmore can do something on special teams. A little squibbler. They'll have the ball at the 30, so bowing out now. He's 0 for 3 so far on the night.
And we know Piga has got great speed. He's a very elusive runner. So, again, they're not going to kick the ball deep to him because why? Mm-hmm. They don't want to risk that, chance of him breaking it out and getting a touchdown. So they're going to squib it down, make the Bucks work for every yard.
So they go into the eye, do the Bucks. Throw on first down, get it out to their playmaker, Piga. Great tackle out there by Cole Rosenkrantz. Very minimal gain, just 3 yards on that.
Again, real quick, a quick hitter. They tried that last series, but the timing was off. That time the timing was there. And again, a short 3-yard gain. That's much better than being at the line of scrimmage or negative yardage.
Again, this Dunmore offense, more balanced this year. Let's see if they go back to this power running game and use some of the big boys up front. They do. And nowhere going. Give credit to this defensive line. Evans in the middle, 265. Castellano, 255, coach, for Lackawanna Trail. And, I mean, you go up against Annalee, Tulio, and Doherty, all in the 240 range.
Well, and they just tried running a fullback trap up in there. And the way that their defensive tackles are playing, Evans and Castellano, they're just playing their A-gap responsibilities really stout. And it's going to be really difficult if they don't move them off the line of scrimmage.
So 3rd and 6. They have not converted yet tonight, have Dunmore. This is their 3rd possession. Looking to pick up their first down and keep something going. They get it out to Piga, and he's going to be short by 2 yards of a first down. They'll give him where he caught it. He's a 1 yard short, so let's see what Kevin McHale does. Does he roll the dice?
Just a quick hitter. And this is where football awareness has to come in. The receivers have to know where the sticks are, and they should be running their comeback routes, go past it and come back. But again, the pressure the Lions are putting on right now on Bowen, it's really tough for him to get settled back there to find that perfect throw.
Yeah, you see Kevin McHale. He's a big line guy. He's there. He's trying to egg on his and get his offensive line going. 3rd punt for Gallagher. It's a low one. Ryan calls for a fair catch, and the Lions up 12-0, 3:24 left in the first quarter, have the ball in good field position again at their own 36-yard line.
And there's Coach Jervis. You know, he's congratulating his guys, talking to his son, saying, all right, let's run. What do you think, Bob? Buck sweep left or buck sweep right?
I would just give it a number 20 at this point. And that play-action pass, that shows you why Lackawanna Trail is our 5th-ranked team, also ranked in the state in single A. And again, they do have a lot of senior leadership, does Trail, but you know, to sprinkle in the talented sophomores here and there, and this is a pretty good football team. As Jervis is just going to take a good job on the defensive side.
Well, you were saying about how they're sprinkling in, and you just saw Coach Jervis talk about, he just showed his son, make sure you flash that ball more because they didn't bite. That's why that play didn't go for any yardage on that one.
Good job by Braden Ruther, the senior, coming in from the edge to give up a 1 yard gain only to the quarterback.
Bob, to touch on the point that you brought up earlier, they have 2 sophomore guards in there, and in the wing T offense, those guards are key to it.
And he fouls it off the right side. Gumbel just powering up. And I think he's got a figure law first down, a Perfect Storm Renovations first down for the Lions. He's going to be about a half yard short, it looks like, from
and you
here.
See 52 and 72 in there getting down. Now, you see number 52 in your screen, folks. He's downfield. 72's down there. That's what they're supposed to do. They get down, they will chip block the first person to spring that halfback coming through or fullback coming through.
Oh, my eyes didn't deceive me. I know. That was a Perfect Storm Renovations first down. They moved the chains. They're just a little slow to hear me, I guess, Coach.
You're good at this, Bob. I'd never questioned you on there, that's for sure.
So the Lions pick up another first down on the move again. Inside trap to Patterson. It works again. He's into the secondary, and he's down there to the 30-yard line. But a 17-yard gain for Hunter Patterson.
Nice job in there. Again, they're just, all they're doing, they're going to go outside, outside, inside, outside. It becomes a guessing game, and they're just scorching you right now for chunks of yardage.
If you're running this wing T, we talk about the linemen. How important is it just to get a small hole? What is your role as a lineman in a wing T offense?
Wing T it's all about angles. So that's why they're so successful. And they're not huge by any means standard. They don't have 300-pounders across the board. It's about speed and angles on wing T, and that's all they're doing. They're chipping, and they're letting that play action come in and make big yardage for them.
All you have to do is look at 13-time champion Southern Columbia, their wing T, right? They didn't. We every year we say they're lying 190-pounder guys, 220-pound guys, but they keep winning.
They do. Tomorrow is another nonstop all-day college football Saturday on Fox. Game 1 kickoff is at noon with the unbeaten Oklahoma Sooners against the Cincinnati Bearcats. Then UCLA battles number 11 Utah. At 7, 2 unbeaten teams take the field with Oregon State versus Washington State. And the fourth and final game kicks off at 10:30 with number 5 USC and the Arizona Sun Devils. Get your fill of college football all day tomorrow, only on Fox 56.
Now, I might be wrong. Did Oregon State, Washington State, does the winner then go to the Big Ten? Because aren't they those two teams? Those two teams are the only ones in the Pac-12 that haven't picked a conference yet. Loser goes to what, the Mountain Valley?
Yes.
And then the winner goes to the Big 12 or whatever you want. ACC, I don't know. Pick your Power 5. Why not? Let them play it on the field and then
they decide.
Yeah, they decide. So Kevin McHale called a timeout, probably wise, wanted to talk to his defense, how important this defensive part of the game is, as we have someone come off. I think need a helmet check. And there you see our referees tonight. 3 Sarahs right at the top, Clancy, Stefalo, and Miller from the Lackawanna Football Conference. So on this Perfect Storm Renovations first down play, Douglas up, the ball's out. It's still on the ground. And it's a scrum, and I think Patterson fell on it.
Yep.
Cooper Patterson or Douglas? I
think it was Cooper. I thought it was 72.
Yeah. Let's look at it again.
Again, they just blow that up. Great job defensively by the Bucks. They stopped them right on the outside. They took it away. The ball came out. And you just see it's just a scrum. I was watching World Cup rugby this week.
That's
what it looked like. It was number 12.
Yep, Hunter Patterson fell on it, but the good news for the Bucks, backs up Trail, 2nd and 19 now. So a break for Dunmore. Stopping this Poland offense. But Gumbo off the right side, another big push. Good tackle by Hickey in there. On the defensive side.
And what's so difficult about the wing T is because it kind of takes the defense's aggressiveness away, because you have to be so patient with this because of all the cross bucks that they run, all the miscounter. Here's the fumble again. So we'll see. They did a great job. Right at the line of scrimmage, they stopped them. The ball punched out, and it's still on the ground. Again, we talk about scoop and score, but again, when you're on the offense and the ball's bouncing away from you, just jump on it, get the possession.
Okay, after that, 3rd down on the way, but we'll have to play this one into the second quarter. All Lions here in Bucktown so far. Quarter 1, number 1 in the books. 12-0 the score.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY. Lackawanna Trail leads Dunmore 12-0 at the end of the first quarter. Joining me now is Toby Grisenda from NEPA Builders. Toby, you're back for another year of Raising the Roof. Let's talk about it. What is Raising the Roof?
Sure. Yeah, Raising the Roof is a partnership with Fox 56, 84 Lumber Company, NEPA Builders, and our community to come together and do a roof replacement for somebody who otherwise can't afford it.
What inspired you to start this, and how special was it for you and everyone you worked with in your community to see it come to life last year?
Yeah, so we wanted to get together and do something for our community, and we wanted to do that in a way that only a builder could. So we decided that for every 100 roofs that we do, we were going to give one away for free. So yeah, it's a great way for our team to come together, do something for the community, and give back to them who give to us all the time.
If somebody knows a family who is deserving, how can they nominate them?
Yeah, sure. So go to our website, NEPA BLDRS, navigate to the giveaway page, and nominate somebody that you know. So, we're at Dunmore, or maybe you're watching from Trail at home. You have a neighbor down the street, maybe a family member. Their roof is in disrepair. It's been leaking for a while. Maybe they've had, hard times, like last year, our family, there was one of the household members had cancer, and so they couldn't afford it. And maybe you know somebody like that. So go on there and nominate them. Last year it was like a $15,000 value that we were able to provide to that family that they didn't have to worry about it anymore. So we can't do it without you. Please go on our website, nominate somebody, and we can do something great together.
Toby, thank you so much. It's a wonderful thing that you guys do at NEPA Builders, and we're so proud to be a part of it. Guys, if you know somebody, get to NEPAbuilders.com. Let's nominate those families. It's week 5 of high school football. You still have 5 more weeks to get those nominations in before we pick a winner. Bob, Jan, back to you.
What Toby and NEPA Builders does is amazing.
That is great.
Last year gave a roof away to a needy family, and again, if you know someone, as they said, hey, nominate them. What a great gesture by Toby and his crew, and we appreciate him coming out to all these games and talking about this that we're running.
I'll tell you, he's really TV friendly too.
Is, yeah.
He does a great job speaking. I know he's very personable that way, and that's why his business is successful. And he just wants to give back, and he's just trying to help out, the community.
Okay, back to the football game. It's 4th down and 15 for Lackawanna Trail. They had to use a timeout because they didn't get the play in after the first quarter, which, befounds me sometimes, but, that's here to there. But they had to call timeout. Well, so it's a 4th down. They're going to go for it. Why not? So Jervis is into the shotgun. Drops back, looks long. Looks for Douglas. Has a man, and it's caught. Touchdown, Lackawanna Trail. Jervis to Douglas. 34-yard strike.
Look at that. I mean, you watch, they just tried to swim. Number 7 tried to swim. Chris Conte tried to swim to his left, and heads-up play by a sophomore right guard, Colin Owens, and all he did was he just rode him up the field. It gave Jervis time to throw that ball. And again, now Steven Jervis has 5 touchdowns on the year, I believe, right? In the air right now. And again, he's just Coach Jervis said they only throw the ball when they need to. And boy, did they need that one there.
They're going to go for 2, and they've owned this game so far over the Bucks. This to go up 20-0. Inside to Gumble, he rides his defender in, and the 2-point conversion is good.
You can see the Lions coming off feeling pretty good about themselves. But again, this is a long game. We just started the second quarter, but they've taken a commanding lead on there. They didn't do anything different. It wasn't a trick play. That's the Buck sweep.
They've heard all week the Lions were 4-0, but again, the opponents coming in were 5-11. We have something to prove against this Dunmore team, a program like the Bucks, 3-1 coming in.
And again, they're a big, strong, well-coached team, and they've just got to really just start doing it.
So Jervis, so far the player of the night here.
Look at this. Look at the time he has to throw the ball. Like I said about the offensive line protection, they just did a great job with their cut protection. Jervis planted his feet, took a step forward, a touchdown strike right there to Douglas. That's beautiful. That's what they want to be able to do, is run the ball so effectively that their pass game now becomes more of a hindrance to the defenses now.
Back to the Bucks. First quarter, Coach, 9 plays, unofficially 14 yards, 2, 3 3-and-outs. Things not going Dunmore's way. What do you do? Now it's 20-0. These are teenage kids. They hang their heads, but, there's a lot of pride on this side. It's homecoming. They can still get back into it, but, boy, they just do not look good on offense yet.
They just haven't found their rhythm, and that's what they need to do. And, Bob, you will ask me week in and week out, what does a certain team have to do? They just need to get a first down. They haven't had one of those in the first quarter yet. So now let's just get a first down, and then they just keep that drive alive. And they don't have to do anything crazy. They just have to play Dunmore football. We talk about tradition and pride, and we know that is what's on the sideline.
Ryan tees it up, and I think the Lions have done a nice job taking Dunmore out of playing Buck football, if that makes any sense. Ryan Mecca, nowhere to go. Big hit by Kimmel down there, and we have another Buck now injured. Oh, boy.
He looks like he was holding his knee.
He holding his knee, and timeout on the field. for an injured Dunmore player. Let's look at this again.
Go, squib kick. Again, 21's right there. Picks it up. See what happened.
Yeah, good. You see the leg being held, and then it's probably bent back as it's being held, and that's never a good look.
Max Kimmel came in. You know, he was the second trail player coming in just to take him down because he was still trying to drag him across.
So with an injured player on the field, we'll take a timeout. 20-0 your score here in Dunmore. We are back at Dunmore at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Number 5, Lackawanna Trail leads Dunmore 20-0 the score. Ryan Mecca was injured on the kickoff, and he is on his feet but walking off gingerly. It's the second Dunmore player to go down tonight. Dom DeSando was injured earlier in the first quarter. As you see, Mecca needing assistance to come off, and with the son that had tore his ACL last year, I feel his pain, and it's not easy. Not saying it's a knee. Hopefully it's not.
Well, we can't diagnose from
I'm
up
not
here,
diagnosing
not
at all.
We're just spitballing up here, but we never want to see any of these young men get hurt. But it is unfortunately a part of this game. And there we go. Now the Dunmore players came over to help him off.
So the Bucks back on offense. As I said, just 9 plays, 14 total yards so far after a quarter of play here. Lackawanna Trail has owned the line of scrimmage. They've owned the run game. They've owned the pass game. And they pretty much have owned special teams as well. And that was something Kevin McHale talked about in his keys to the game, was he needed to play better on special teams. So Bowen in the shotgun. Handoff. Pika now in the backfield. He's going to get some positive yardage over the 20. Let's see if that gets him going.
Well, Pika's our spotlight player, and we know that he's pretty elusive as a receiver and a running back, and now he's showing off his running back skills right in here. Nice job with the spin technique, getting away from number 72, and he gets a nice 3-yard gain there. This is what now again, Dunmore, I don't think they have to go downtown. They just got to get that first down and just keep moving the sticks, keep the ball away from Lackawanna Trail.
I love to see Chris Conte, the tight end, get more involved. It's always that player, that tight end, they never can find him in high school football, and at 6'5", 250, he's a huge target downfield.
It's a pretty easy target, especially when your quarterback, is 6'2" also.
On the center.
So
5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
And penalties was the bugaboo last week at Riverside. 12 penalties for Dunmore, 95 yards. It is just their first tonight, but it backs them up now. 2nd and 12.
Right. You had positive and now a mental mistake, and that's what Coach McHale really was frustrated with last week, and he was trying to emphasize and stress that this week. But we are dealing with 15, 16, 17-year-old young men.
Out into the flat. Trying to hit Gabe Franick. It goes incomplete. So 3rd and long now again.
So you see, he's got time. It's just a misthrown ball. He was just trying to get that back shoulder over there, trying to get that. And what we tell the receivers is when that happens, you want to go pinky to pinky, not thumb to thumb on that one. And that's what happened. He went thumb to thumb, and the ball skidded out.
Franick, a junior, being consoled there by Conti, you see. In and out of his hands, and when things start rolling, the ball starts rolling down the hill. It gets faster and faster, Coach, right? And that's what's going here for Dunmore. It's the little things now that are starting to affect this Buck team. So 3rd and long, once again, here comes the blitz. He gets out of it, gets it out. It's a little bit behind the intended receiver, Piga, and the punt team back on for the Bucks.
Well, the Bucks slid protected to the left. Quarterback rolled to the right. Right-handed quarterback. He's got to make those completions. You can see there's really no pressure, and he just threw it behind. That's the stuff that Coach will talk about at halftime, and actually probably talk to him right now. Say, settle down. Let's just play Dunmore football.
So Ryan has room. Ryan to the outside, and the Lions will have good field position inside the 25-yard line to start this drive. Make that, folks, at the 19. Up 20-0, the Lions winning the special teams battle.
Just a low kick and a great job fielding it. Heads-up play by the Lions there not to engage from behind or the side for any questionable calls, and they've got great field position to start this drive.
And this Dunmore defense has been on the field way too long. And Trail able to do anything they want on offense here tonight. Inside to Patterson. Good defense there on the inside.
Conte and Ruth are doing a nice job staying home, not over pursuing, because that's part of the problem when you're playing defense against a wing T. You can literally take yourself out of the play by coming upfield 2 yards. You want to stay at the line of scrimmage, plug those holes up, make the running backs try to cut around, and hopefully you have secondary support by your linebackers.
Now, if you're the Bucs, are you playing the runner? Watch out for the play action here, I would think. No, they'll give it to Gumbel. He has the outside, and he's got room. He's in the secondary, and he's inside the 10. It's a Perfect Store Renovations first down inside the Kelly Mahindra red zone. First and goal, Lackawanna Trail.
Boy, Lucas Gumbel is just a tough young man. Watch this. They did just run with that buck sweep. Look at him get to the outside. Good ball security. Dips that shoulder, and he's laying the hits on the defensive backs.
Jeff McNeff saved the touchdown there, but they're at the 6 are the Lions. 4-0 coming in, averaging 40 points per game, and folks, you're seeing why.
One of the things that the wing T you can really set up on the pass is a bootleg or a waggle. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that down here to work it.
They'll just give it a Gumbel. Good push by the line there. Good job by Nick Donvito. We haven't called his name all night long, the all-region linebacker. He's in there for the tackle, the yard gain at best.
Well, that's what they need to do. The Bucs need to start contributing. All their players have to start coming up. You see a nice job in there. Great job with the flow, breaking the window in there. Number 7 doing an excellent job. Chris Conte, we talked about him as a tight end, now as a defensive tackle. Great job with the pursuit.
Back to Gumbel. Has that sweep, and nobody there to cut him down. That was an easy one. Touchdown Lions, 8:03 left in the first half. 6 yards, Gumbel in for his second score of the night.
Well, again, the buck sweep, this is what's crazy, that they are so effective with it. And again, Lucas Gumbel scores, hands the ball to the official, just like it's another day in the office.
So Ryan doing the extra points on this one. Nice high kick, and that is through. So it ups the score 27-0. Lackawanna Trail over Dunmore. So Gumbel's first touchdown of the night. Jervis has one. Patterson has one. Douglas has one. And now Gumbel has one. So we talked about all the threats, and they're all getting involved here tonight.
And that's why you have a 4-headed monster that you're trying to defend here. And they're just doing a tremendous job executing, getting the job done. And it's just neat to see that they're so efficient with how they run that wing T.
So Lackawanna Trail ranked number 5 in our Friday Night Rivals Top 10, which you can see every Tuesday night with Amanda and I on the Fox 56 News First and 10. Jan and I go through this, and I think we're doing a pretty good job. Lackawanna Trail, proving tonight, I think, why they're the number 5 team. Danville facing Southern Columbia. Coach is going to get a score there. Selinsgrove plays tomorrow against Shikellamy. Jersey Shore tomorrow against Mifflinburg. And then we go through the Wyoming Valley Conference. Dallas and Wyoming area still in there. Valley View, we'll see them in a few weeks. Hey, and Troy out of the Northern Tier League, once again having a good year at 4-0.
And Danville is losing 14-7 to Southern Columbia, which we knew was going to be a battle. Coach Carl Major, first year down at Danville, doing a nice job with the Ironmen. Dallas was up 35-0, I believe. Wyoming area was 36-0. Valley View was 14-0. Prep, obviously, you said plays tomorrow. Jersey Shore plays tomorrow. So,
Yes, Granite Prep with a big game right here in Dunmore. They're undefeated. We saw them last week beat up on Scranton. They get Del Val. Del Val 1-3. Of course, they have their first 3 games against very tough opponents. So Ryan, a high kick, and it's going to stay in bounds. It's still a live ball. Picked up by Conte, and they say he went out of bounds at the 21. So here comes this Bucks offense. No first downs yet for Dunmore. Just try and find anything positive on this Bucks side to get things going. You almost feel like if they get it going, it will affect everything on the field.
well, they lost DeSando. They lost Mecca. So now you take 2 of your key offensive weapons out. It makes a tough uphill climb. But you have to have that next man up mentality. And the Bucks know that. But the way that the defense is playing, that 4-4 defense for the Lions, they're just playing so lights out right now. It's going to be tough for the Bucks to get anything rolling.
So they put Conte to the near side. They go back out and try a little screen, and coming in, Pika in and out of his hands. Again, we've had a couple drop balls. Bowen has thrown the ball behind a couple players, and
so they go with that quick screen to the outside. The ball was bobbled, but look at number 23. He was all over him anyway. That's what I mean. Max Kimmel doing a nice job getting that defense is just flowing so fast.
and that's something Coach talked about, right? He wanted to play with speed.
He did. He wanted them aligned up so they can play fast and aggressive.
So back to the eye they go, and no flag down. I thought the tailback was still setting himself when they snapped the ball. They try a little fullback trap again to Hickey, and Trail well schooled on that. Another 3rd and long coming up.
Well, we saw Gary Shaw, 76 in there, make that stop. I mean, they're just – look at that. They just had him. He just beat him into the A gap, and he dropped him at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 6, 3rd and 9. We've had 3rd and 11. I mean, this Dunmore team is going the wrong way, and they're trying anything to get this offense going. Looks like a 4-man rush. It is Bowen back, going to roll out into the flat. He's got a receiver. Big hit in there, 2 big hits, and it's going to be a late hit coming up on Trail. So add on more for Dunmore. The first down of the game. It's an 11-yard pickup.
That was a nice play. I liked it. I liked how they set it up. They were patient. And you'll see number 4 and number 5, Demetrius Douglas and Colby Soltis come in here. 23 does a nice job, and then he cleans it up. Number 4, 5, and then number 4 came in over top, and that's where the penalty came in.
We had talked about next man up. How about going to a freshman for your first down of the game, Coach?
Well,
Josh Dudick, a 5'8 freshman, caught the pass, took 2 hard hits, bounced back up, but after the penalty, now Dunmore up past to the 36, and they're going to add on even more. On the late hit, and for the first time tonight, the Bucks will be in Lion territory, right at the 49.
Well, that's what they kind of needed, that first down, and that's what I liked. And, Bob, you said a freshman coming in, unknown, you don't know what he can do, but he wants to prove to the coaches and the Buck family and fans that he can play, and he just showed how tough he is.
They flip it to Pika. Looking for any kind of room. Picks up 2 yards, but great job by the interior defense of the Lions to shut that one down. And Dunmore cannot get anything going on in the running game.
Hunter Patterson and Lucas Evans did a nice job in there. You see 72 battling it in there. Number 12 comes flying up in there, Hunter Patterson. And, again, a really short gain. But it's a positive gain. So Dunmore right now, they just got to maintain and keep this drive alive.
So Lackawanna Trail, a Class A team. Very talented team, not a lot on the roster, though. Play action, over the middle. Has a receiver, and he connects. First down and more. It's a perfect store renovations. First down for the Dunmore Bucks. Frantic pulled in this one, and they're inside the Kelly Mahindra red zone. The biggest play of the night for Dunmore.
They go with a little play action pass. They fake fake it to Pega, and he just does a nice job. Look at that. He threaded that needle in there. Great job. High steps it a little bit, and it's forced out of bounds.
43-yard gain. As I said, I think once Dunmore gets going, they're going to get it, and they got a rhythm. They picked up that first down, Coach, thanks to a freshman, and now they're 1st and goal from the 7.
And Gabe Franick was the receiver on that. He's only a junior. Again, Bob, we keep saying about these underclassmen stepping up into their roles, knowing their roles, and doing a great job. And now, look where the Bucks are.
They go to the eye. They have not been able to run the ball in this Lion team. They play action. They're going to go to the air. Anybody. Bowen has a lane towards the end zone. He stood up right at the 3. Patterson connects with him, as does Colby Soltis. But the quarterback saw it, and he took the chance.
And he was getting pressure from number 74, the 6'1", 265-pound sophomore. And look at his pursuit. He's trying. As a sophomore, he's a big guy. He's going to get only bigger and stronger and faster over the next 2 years.
Bowen put his head down, 6'2", 205. 2 yards to go. Typically, this is where you see the fullback for Dunmore, but I'm not sure. Pika dots the eye. They do. Oh, he tried to step on somebody. And he's going to be short by about a half yard. And now Dunmore's going to get up quick. They're going to go quick. They practice this, and I'm sure they practice this. It's going to be something big. Quarterback sneak or something. They'll get a push from behind. Is he in at 6'2"? Second effort. No signal yet. They finally do. They call it a Dunmore touchdown. It took a little bit. They had to find him in the scrum, but they finally call it a score for the Dunmore Bucks. They get on the board, 4:42 left in the half. Nice drive by Dunmore.
And you'll see this right in there. Nice job. Look at 72. He went up and over. That was Cooper Patterson moved up that D-tackle spot. He jumped over the offensive guard and made first contact. Wow. Great job by Bowen in there to get that touchdown, the much-needed touchdown for the Bucks.
The extra point by Reese is up and through, and Dunmore, folks, back into this one after a 7-play, 79-yard drive. The big play, Bowen to the freshman Dudick for some big yardage, and then Bowen found Franick for 43 yards. So, Amanda, we're going to take a breath, and I see you're with some Buck band members.
That's right. Our Perfect Storm student section is the Dunmore Band, and they have a lot to cheer about right now. I'm with Gianna and Emma from Dunmore. They're both seniors. It's homecoming tonight. A lot going on here, but tell me, what makes your band and student section so special and so unique?
I think personally because we're such a small, close-knit school. A lot of schools aren't like that. So, I don't know. I feel like Dunmore has always been a really big football school and has been really supportive of not just the football team, but also the cheerleaders, band, Crimsonettes, everyone involved. So I feel like it's not that way at most schools. But yeah, it is here, so that's great.
How do you guys show your support for the football team?
Personally, we choose different songs that we know are going to hype everyone up, and when we see that they're doing good, we'll try and get into more hype songs, and even if they're doing bad, we'll try and pep them up with similar songs like that.
What are some of your traditions that you guys have?
So, I don't know, we have a lot of traditions, but some of my favorite would be after every single game, we do a circle up above here, and we have a little drumline solo feature where we sing Mary Had a Little Lamb. It's fun, a lot of fun. And then also we have a special song that we play every single game called Drag Me Down. And it's actually, we think it's cursed because every single time someone gets injured, which is not a good thing, but it's cursed. And then last but not least, every single time we score a touchdown, we play Bucks, and it's super fun.
All right, well, let's hear it.
Yes. All right, Bucks, everyone, Bucks!
Starting young in the Dunmore band. Somebody banging on the drum in the front row. So the Lions have the ball inside Buck territory. There you see it at the 46. Isaac Ryan, a huge gain. And Lackawanna Trail says, you scored on us. We're just going to pound it deep. Jervis just powers forward for about 5-yard gain. And they talked about the this return. And there you saw Isaac Ryan from about his 14. Special teams dominating by
They
the
really
Lions.
are. I mean, the only negative thing about the Lions special teams was the extra points that were missed. But Coach McHale, one of his keys to the game were special teams. And when you give up the ball and you allow the opponent to be in your side of the side of the field, it's not good.
The Lions have 2 timeouts. We're under 4 here in the first half. Gumbel having a big night. Inside another Perfect Storm Renovations first down. Puts his shoulder down, and he's up near the 30. So we have a flag in there. Not a lot of flags tonight. Nope. Okay, we're going to move the chains. Bring up first down for Lackawanna Trail. But between Gumbel and Jervis tonight, they're controlling this game.
Yeah, and then we have Patterson and Douglas to sprinkle
Just to
in.
sprinkle
They
in.
try to keep Dunmore a little bit more honest in there, but
What are they doing right on this sweep? Because it looks like
everything.
Okay,
No,
Coach, thanks.
No, they're pinning. I'll explain after
Yeah.
this play.
So Douglas back to the outside again. Pika wraps up him trying to get the ball out instead of making the tackle. And they're going to move the chains again. Perfect Storm Renovations first down. They are inside the Kelly Mahindra red zone. One more time is Lackawanna Trail. They're getting the ball and going.
Well, you're saying what is working about this? Well, what they're doing is they're able to, with their pulling guards, they're able to take up space. They're not blowing up the linebackers. They're just getting in the way, allowing their running backs to get that angle to the outside, and they've been just creasing Dunmore all evening with that.
They have. Dunmore's been on their heels. They don't know which way the ball's going. And to boot, they're throwing the ball. So
keeping them
there's a
balanced.
powerful, balanced offense. You were correct. Gumbel, well, good job coming in for Dunmore was number 9, Xavier Burke, another freshman, coming through from his quarterback position.
Now you see what they did. 72, he just mauled number 9 on that play. Did a nice job taking out Xavier Burke on that. But Burke, what we call, he pulled the trigger, came up right at the line of scrimmage, and they actually dropped him for a loss. One of the things that I would tell our outside linebackers to do is we would cross key. So if I'm playing left linebacker, I'm going to be looking towards the right halfback. And obviously if I'm playing right linebacker, I'm looking at the left halfback, because it kind of gives you time to figure out what the play's doing.
So Trail on the move, trying to score before the half. They will get the ball to begin the third quarter. So they're trying to go in and score and then score again and maybe put this game away.
NFL on Fox this Sunday starts with the NFL kickoff show at 11. First game begins at 1 with the New Orleans Saints taking on the Green Bay Packers. Then at 4:30, Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys travel to Arizona. Fox NFL Sunday only on Fox 56.
Bob I, Jan Cechek, Amanda Kuhl, Friday Night Rivals here in Dunmore. You see some of the Lackawanna Trail students on the far side cheering on their team here. At the half, Southern Columbia leads Danville 17-7.
Crestwood looking to get one of their wins, 28-0 over Williamsport.
So after the timeout, inside to Patterson, tripped up, or he was going to be still running into the end zone. Good tackle on the inside by McNeff.
Now they just go with that inside trap right there with the fullback. They make it look like the buck sweep, and what they do is they just quick hit the ball right into the fullback's hip, and he just gained 4 yards.
So 3rd down. Gumbel again. He cuts it in. Gumbel puts his head down, rolls over a buck, and he's to the 1.
I'll tell you what, that young man is really putting the exclamation point in here. He is just such a tough runner. He's so physical and just look at this. Watch this. Boom!
13-yard run. And I don't know who took the brunt of that.
And Gumbel just gets up like it's, yep, here we go. Here, Mr. Official, give me the ball again.
So we're under a minute. 1st and goal inside the Kelly Mahindra red zone for the Lions. Trying to add on to this again after Dunmore just marched down the field. Gumbel stood up to host the Bucks. So they stop that run, and actually they'll lose a yard for Dunmore, knowing this is a big possession.
Nice job. This time the linebackers did a great job scraping and filling, and then you see 1, 2, 3, 4 Dunmore Bucks, 5 Dunmore Bucks right there, getting a piece of the action and stopping them.
Jervis, head down, arms are up, touchdown, Lackawanna Trail. So after a good kickoff return by Ryan, put the ball inside Dunmore territory at the 46-yard line. Lions need only 7 plays to go the distance and tack on another touchdown. Ryan's kick is up, and this one is no good, wide left. So 23 seconds left in the half. Coach, 33-7 to score, and tell me you saw this coming.
I didn't see this coming. Not this time, not 33-7. Right now, that whole series, that last series was set up because they had a great kickoff return. They had a short field to go with. They didn't really have to worry about their timeouts or time management because it really played into what they needed to do. They know they're going to get the ball to start the second half. This game is going to get out of control if Dunmore can't get their defense together to settle down and start playing solid defense.
Again, last year it was 24-7 to score. Dunmore won. So you think like Dunmore might have a little advantage because they probably have seen this through the years. It's basically the same line and team. But it looks like, it comes down to Lackawanna Trail just wanted it more.
They came with a purpose tonight, and they want to maintain their undefeatedness. They had revenge on their mind from last year's loss, and their kids, it's just a different atmosphere at Lackawanna Trail School District. I mean, that says a lot about the community, how important football is, and these kids, they came ready to play tonight.
We will have a longer Toyota halftime report than normal. It's homecoming here at Dunmore, so they'll put up 20 minutes on the clock plus the 3 minutes. So we'll fill it with some news. Jan and I will be back, and we'll check out some Friday Night Rivals highlights from around the country. And Amanda will speak to both coaches. That's coming up in the Toyota halftime report. So Ryan with a strong leg. Gonna boot this down the field. High kick to the 20. Mitchell to the outside, puts his head down, and they are hitting here tonight. We talked about how Trail came in. So
that was number 19. That was on the receiving end.
I have it as Josh Dudek in these military uniforms.
Watch this.
The freshman.
Great angle, great position. Watch how he just puts his shoulder right into him, and what happened was the returner put his head down as the contact was made and his helmet popped off. And Dudek has to come out because his helmet came off.
So one play for Dunmore. I mean, they do have 2 timeouts, but I'm not sure you need anything here. Just trying to get it to Pika, and Pika's got a lane. Pika's still on his feet. 6 seconds left. Timeout. There'll be a clock stoppage because of the Perfect Storm renovations first down. So not opportunity for at least a Hail Mary from Thomas Bowen. Throw it down to the end zone.
This is a nice job. They just run with their power play. They go right, and Piga has great vision, gets in there. Look at that, hops. He makes 2 Lions miss, puts his arm out to straight arm, and he just got drugged down by number 10 right there. That was a great job.
Well, that's the playmaker. Dunmore needs to get going, but maybe just a little bit too late here in the first half after their defense has given up 33 points. They did score on their last drive. Let's see what they can do. 5 seconds left. What do you do? He's got the arm. Just throw it.
And I believe they have some trickery. We saw that against Mount Carmel, so I wouldn't be surprised. There's nothing to lose at this point. You're 33-7. You know you're going to have to try to get something. The opponent's getting the ball to start the half.
Well, coming in, Coach, remember this offense averaged 291 yards per game coming in. We'll check the stats out at halftime, but they're well below that.
Yes, they are.
Into this first half. Now, still 1 half to play. Remember, the Bucks did come back last week to beat Riverside 20-16. This is where I love to see the tight end. Like, I will just love going right down the middle to the tight end. At 6'5".
Why
he's
not?
The guy.
And they're playing a 3-man front.
Yeah,
so
they are. The tight end is going down the middle. Well, it's well past the line of scrimmage, so if this counts, it will not count. If they catch it, I should say. The flag is for over the line, so this will be declined, I'm sure, by Lackawanna Trail because it wouldn't even count, and that will do it here at half. So we're at the half here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Our number 5 team in the Friday Night Rivals countdown, Lackawanna Trail, putting it on Dunmore here at home, 33-7. Amanda's trying to get Coach Steve Jervis, and he sure is very happy going into the half.
He's going to be happy for a little bit. He'll smile.
Let's go down to Amanda with Coach Jervis.
Coach, you have to be incredibly pleased with your team in the first half.
Yeah, obviously, we're playing a very good football team, so we keep preaching to them. It's 0-0 right now. But I did, I think up front, I think our offensive line and our defensive line, even though we have some younger kids, we're starting 3 sophomores. They're seasoned kids. They've been around. I think they're playing, really well. And I think offensively too, we're blessed. We're blessed to have the kind of backs that we have. They all kind of, complement each other very well, and I think a couple opportunistic passes there help. But again, this game's a long way from over.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
We'll expand on Coach Jervis said into the third quarter. Your halftime score, 33-7. Coming up next, the Toyota Halftime Report here on MyTV, WQMY.
You're watching Manuka Subaru Friday Night Rivals, sponsored by USA Metal Roofs on MyTV WQMY. Welcome to the Toyota Halftime.
Before tonight's game, we presented the athletic director here at Dunmore, Mark Finan, a donation of $250 on behalf of Manuka Subaru and Friday Night Rivals. Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium. Homecoming festivities going on. A king and queen have been named, and Jan and I are not it. We're not eligible, but there you see the score. Dominating fashion, Lackawanna Trail beating the home team tonight 33-7. Let's bring it back into the booth. Bob Ide and Jan Sechak. And as I said, I think in the telecast, no one could have predicted this one. I predicted a little bit closer game,
yes.
But the Lions came in with a purpose, and they've proven it so far.
Well, and they want to show that, especially against Dunmore, a very well-established, traditionally football-rich school, that they came in and they were not taking prisoners tonight. And they really have done a great job in all 3 phases of their game.
looks like this: 28 plays for Lackawanna Trail, 251 yards, 11 first downs. Gumbel has 104 yards rushing and 1 touchdown, while Jervis 74 yards passing and a touchdown. And they spread the wealth. Jervis has 2 touchdowns. Everybody else seems like a skill person has a touchdown as well.
Gumbel has 1. He set up that first touchdown with that great long pass reception. Patterson and Douglas also adding to it, and then Jervis had another quarterback sneak for his second touch. I mean, they're just hitting on all cylinders tonight.
Even defensively, they're playing well. They held Dunmore pretty much without a first down for about a quarter and a half or so before they finally had that long drive to get their touchdown. Some stats for them: total plays, 24 plays, 112 yards total for Dunmore. Just 3 first downs, 64 of those yards coming on 1 drive alone. We talked about rhythm and Dunmore. They got into a rhythm, but unfortunately, special teams was the Achilles heel again.
And that's what Coach McHale really was emphasizing. They've got to do a better job. They kicked the ball down to the 12-yard line. They returned it to the 49 of Trails. They had it at their own 49. So, I mean, they're shooting themselves in the foot that way. They can't get anything established running-wise or passing-wise. And we know that they lost 2 of their star players now. I saw one young man. DeSando was he had a sling on. And the other one,
and Ryan Mecca, they had to take a cart in. Maybe we don't want to speculate. Right. Definitely something on their lower leg. He was on a cart. So there's 2 stars out. The quarterback's not playing as well as he should, and they're dropping some balls, just some mistakes mentally for the Bucks. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. As you might expect, they're dominated by the Lions, and it really started on the first play of the game. It was a long pass, and then finally Jervis completed that drive with a touchdown.
And then Patterson gets the second touchdown for the Lions. And now we come back. Look at this pass play right here. This is beautiful. Right to Douglas. Right there. Thank you. Boop. Touchdown.
The Lions threw a pass for a touchdown. Oh, my. But Dunmore finally did. They were down 27-0. They put a drive together. Bowen put it in for the touchdown. But, again, next series, what happens? They kick it off. And Lackawanna Trail takes it down just 46 yards. Gumbel again, his second touchdown of the night.
And he's just such an incredible runner. I really have a lot of respect for the young man. And in there, you just see Jervis just punches it in to really, say, okay, you scored. Now it's our turn. We're taking back control of this game. So I hope whatever Coach McHale says and whatever he can scheme up at coming out second half gets the Dunmore Bucks back on the path that they need to be and start getting the first downs and start grinding this out.
Well, they're not going to let us come back here anymore. We were here twice, and they've given up 34 points to Mark Carmel, 33 here to Lackawanna Trail. They're going to be like, you guys, no, you're a bad luck here.
It could be.
It might be as simple as that.
You might say it might be our fault, but, we're not the ones calling the plays. And it is. This is a game done by kids. And sometimes we forget that.
14 to 18-year-olds.
Yeah, and, their emotions, some of the seniors might be, thinking about homecoming or the homecoming dance, and the juniors, they're not sure. It's just they're kids, and that's the hard part. But right now, Trail has been so laser focused on offense, defense, and special teams.
So we are not the only Friday Night Rivals Sinclair TV station doing football tonight. In fact, there are several around the country. And each week we're going to show you some of the highlights from Friday Night Rivals, starting tonight from around the United States.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
Johnson will give to Graham again. This time he gets around the left side, and we'll see how fast he can go. He's at the 30, the 40, the 50. It doesn't look like anybody's going to catch Miles Graham. 10-5 all the way to the house.
McDougal will toss it back. Easterly, the throwback. McDougal has got a block. Jumps over a man. Stays on his feet near sideline. Bennett McDougal.
The punt here is blocked. They got a hand on it and caught. This could be a score right here. It's a foot race. That's a touchdown. Carter Newman on the punt.
His first year as a starter. Coming a big way, and here's an onside kick, and Greenhill's got it.
Duffler back to throw. Goes long, left, got a man, and he caught it.
Oh,
No. He's intercepted.
Wow.
Well, somebody caught it. Picked off. Number 3, Jack Detro.
Jackson Clark from 50. No, it's blocked. It's blocked. The Raiders come through. The 50-yarder doesn't get past his foot. And the crowd goes wild on senior night. And the Raiders are going to get the victory.
Back on a beautiful night for high school football in Lackawanna County. It's a Lackawanna Football Conference crossover game. Lackawanna Trail beating Dunmore here 33-7, dominating the Bucks so far. As we mentioned, halfway through this regular season, time now to take a look at some standings. In two-way, Mid-Valley tonight beating Susquehanna 28-0. That is the third quarter. Dunmore right there, Riverside beating Mahanoy area. It's a 4-team race in there, and right now I'd say it's wide open.
It really is. I mean, I really didn't know Mid-Valley. I knew they were going to be good. I didn't think they were going to be this good. Dunmore's had their struggles. Susquehanna is always a solid program, and Coach Armstrong down at Riverside, you know, you never know what you're going to get. One of their losses, I remember, it was the second week they lost their starting quarterback, so that's where that loss came in. But
and they beat, and don't forget Dunmore last week they lost to 20-16. Tadonio was back into that game. Now Dunmore Mid-Valley play next week. Just remember that. Lackawanna Trail next week is at Riverside.
Two good games on tap for both those schools.
So we'll go 3A. Scranton Prep, we saw them last week. I don't think there might be a better 3A team in our area. And I won't say in the state because Wild Missing is very good. Newman Goretti is there as well. But Prep, tough game tomorrow against Delaware Valley right here. Western Wayne as there as well. That's a 2-horse race.
It really is. And Scranton Prep has just been playing lights-out football. We just saw how dominating they were last week, and they just took no prisoners. Western Wayne, new head coach, doing a nice job implementing his system. So that's going to take 2 years, 3 years to get that into the community and into the players' heads. So, and you know, Coach Gilski down at Lehman is always an interesting coach there. Coach Majeros at Hanover and Carbondale, they just keep plugging away, but they just don't have any success. And I give their coach a ton of credit.
4A, very competitive. I won't say it's the most competitive. I think 5A is there as well. But, you know, this is a 5-team race. So Dallas winning, Wyoming area winning, Valley View beating Pittston area tonight. Tunkhannock losing to Honesdale. North Pocono, bit of a shock, beating Scranton tonight. So they'll both go to 3-2. I'm not going to say I think it's the most wide open.
It really is. And North Pocono, by beating Scranton, will get those power points, which is going to help set them up even more. Crestwood's on their way to their second win of the season. Berwick has been
losing to Wilkes-Barre tonight just by 7.
And I didn't realize that their coach last week,
Orlando, is now back interim coach.
Yes, I didn't realize he was sick, and I hope coach is doing well. Wallen Paulpack, Doc Watson up there will be there in a few weeks.
Okay, we'll take a look at 5A after this. Amanda's going to catch up with Coach Kevin McHale.
Coach, what was your message to the team at the half?
Got a block and got a tackle right from the beginning. They out-efforted us, played a little harder than us, so we've got to do a better job in that regard.
2 injuries in the first. Do you have any updates on the condition of your players?
They won't be returning. Dominic and Ryan Mecca will not be returning.
How has their absence impacted what you're trying to get done in your game plan?
They're two very good players, 2 explosive players, 2 guys that could do a lot, so not having them hurts us a little bit, but we're not blocking anyone, we're not tackling anyone, so we got to correct that first and foremost.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Kevin, for joining us. He's not wrong.
No, he's not.
Everything he said is right on point. Again, I think it was a little more effort than it was a scheme tonight for Dunmore. We'll go back to the 5A standings really quick. How about Abington?
Abington's great.
Playing really well.
Yeah. Scranton, we know.
Dunmore, Del Val tomorrow with a big game against them. I mean, that's a 3-horse race maybe. You never count Del Val out. You can't go by their score.
You can't because they played out-of-state teams that are like nationally ranked. So, you know, Coach Olsemer's really piled on the schedule for his players.
And Abington, feel good story, finally got things turned around. They'll have some big games coming up with Scranton Prep, with Scranton, with Delaware Valley. In fact, they end the season with Delaware Valley in the pit. That's the last game of the year on a Saturday afternoon. So that 5A perfectly wide open. Both teams back on the field. Military Appreciation Night homecoming festivities are done. King and Queen have been crowned. Let's see now if the Dunmore Bucks team can overcome a couple of injuries. We talked to Ryan Mecca is out, and Dom DeSando will be sidelined as well. But Lackawanna Trail, as we saw, if you've been watching, it just came out hitting harder. Just played with a lot more effort and playing much better tackle football.
Well, the intensity of the Lions is really, really shown on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. And Coach McHale hit it on the head. Look, we have to just tackle. It's a simple game. You have to block and tackle, and they're not doing a very good job of either. And I'm sure he put that on his captains.
I mean, this is an obvious question. We know the answer. How critical is this opening possession for Lackawanna Trail for both teams?
Well, Dunmore wants to stop them. Do a 3-and-out, something they haven't been able to do all game. And then if they were able to do that, get decent field position, then they'll be able to start moving the ball like they did right before the half when they scored.
If I'm coaching, I call the onside kick.
You have nothing to lose.
Just saying. That's why I'm not coaching, and that's why I'm up here. Okay, we got it. I know. They kick it in between, not too deep. Bobbled around by Douglas, so a chance now for Dunmore to pick it up and get somebody down. But Douglas shoots out. Flag comes in. Douglas out. Breaks 3 or 4 tackles up past the 40. And there's the tackling that Coach McHale talked about. Not very good for Dunmore, but they may get a penalty on this that will help them.
I believe I saw the face mask.
So you think it's going to go against Dunmore?
Yes. You saw the play. You saw.
During return, personal foul, face mask, number 24 on the kicking team. 15 yards will be added to the end of the kick. First down.
Boy, special teams is really hurting Dunmore here tonight. Great job by the Lions. Let's look for this face mask. You saw it, Coach.
I did. You'll see it when he starts to cut back inside right there. He caught him right underneath. But again, his head moved, and that's what the official saw.
But nice return by Demetrius Douglas, and first down right over the midfield line. I should say at the Dunmore 45, so even better. The last drive of that first half, Coach, went 46 yards. They're inside that a yard, and Lackawanna Trail really looking to put this game away. Back to the ground, and Patterson, he breaks out in the open. He's up for a figure law first down. 10 yards for Hunter Patterson, and this Trail offense keeps rolling along.
So what do? You're going to start keying Gumbel. So what do? They hand it off to Patterson. And again, that was just the lead play, and he just bounced it to the outside.
If you're just joining us, the first play of this game set the tone. First possession for Lackawanna Trail, play action pass all the way downfield. And Lackawanna Trail said, we are here to play, and we're going to be well balanced tonight, and they have been. Inside handoff to Douglas. Dunmore's defense does their job on the tackle. Braden Ruther pulls it down, but a second down now facing the Lions.
So now that time they pulled backside number 34 was getting into the mix on that for the Lions from his tight end spot. So it's kind of like a counter tray almost.
So you're probably saying, well, why didn't you show the Class A standings for District 2?
Well, Bob,
why didn't? Because there's only 2 teams.
There's only 2, and one of them has been so dominating.
Right here.
And, folks, you're watching a dominating single A team.
And them in 04 just play for the title no matter what. So Patterson, you see Pika coming up, holding his waist. Third down now facing the Lions in 2-down territory here for the line to gain.
See, that's that lead play there. You see Gumbel leading up inside, and there was nothing there, so he bounced it to the outside for a really short gain.
Clock is stopped, timeout on the field. Not sure if it's a team timeout or a player injury or the clock. So it's something like that's an official timeout on this field. You know, Mike Serra, the referee tonight. So it's third down. Not sure what the conversation was down on the field. So we're back at it in third down. Jervis over his center. Gary Shaw, the senior, he's got a figure law first down inside the 25. So Lions just using power football, came in averaging 270 yards on the ground.
And the offensive line, that was one of the things that Coach wanted to for his keys was the line of scrimmage. Coach Jervis's key to the game was the offensive line of scrimmage, and they're doing a tremendous job there controlling that and moving the Bucks off the line.
It's not often in a season you see Dunmore get dominated in the line of scrimmage. They've had some great backs over the years. Some great linemen, too. Jervis to the end zone. Good defense down there. Trying to hit Kimmel. Goes incomplete.
Boy, Max Kimmel, I didn't realize he's 6'3". Had a nice ball. Look at that. Nice tight spiral right in the end zone, and he just stopped it. Gabe Franick.
Gabe Franick on the defense, so second down now, trying to hold this Lions defense, the whole offense, I should say, to no points and out of the end zone. So this offense for the Bucks, see if they get back into this one. Coming around is Douglas. There's a nice tackle in there. So third down. That's Hickey. Number 44 came in with 7.5 total tackles on the year as a senior.
So on that, they just run the wing now. He came from his wing spot on the right-hand side, and now you have a load. You have the fullback, halfback. They're loading on that outside of the defensive end linebacker, and that's it. They're just getting a good push and a good surge.
Gumbo, better job controlling him now. And that's the big guy. That's Nathan Ruther.
Yeah.
Got a paw on him. So fourth down. Dunmore defense holding.
Now you see he's getting a nice push in there, reestablish the line of scrimmage. Number 9 comes in. That's Xavier Burke, the freshman, who's not afraid to come up and mix it up in there with those Lions.
So a big fourth down for Dunmore here. First possession of the third quarter. What will Trail do? Run it or pass it? They've proven they can do both here tonight. They'll fake it. It's going to be a quarterback sweep. Jervis cuts in, and he's going to be at the 13. Move the chains. A figure law first down for Lackawanna Trail.
Well, that's like that waggle bootleg action we were talking about. He open, reverses out, fakes, and then he just tucks the ball and goes. And look, number 12. This is what's neat about this offense, that you have your running backs and receivers willing to give themselves up to stalk block.
So time ticking away on the Dunmore Bucks here on homecoming. This is the 9th play of the drive for the Lions. Inside to Patterson. They hold him up. No gain on that. Conte wraps him up. The senior coming in with 10 tackles on the season, 6 for a loss.
Chris Conte, 6'5", 250 pounds inside, with his next-door neighbor, Nathan Ruther, the 315-pound senior. I mean, that's a lot of personnel in there. But the Lions have been really taking care of them on the inside, especially when they hit them with the quick trap.
Sweep. Good job. They read that. Good defense from number 5. That's Braden Ruther, who seeked it out, caused havoc in the backfield, and it backs up the Lions.
Boy, he did a nice job coming up in there. And he said, hey, thank you, look at that. And he's picked up by Nathan Ruther for the tackle. Ruther to Ruther.
So this backs them up inside the Kelly Mahinger red zone to the 18, brings up 3rd down. They can get a 1st down, so it's 3rd and 14. Well, I think it was 1st and goal, wasn't it? I don't know why the chain gang
It was,
there.
yeah, I don't. It says the ball was supposed to be on the 16, according to the scoreboard.
Well, it's on the 16 now. I don't think this is right either, because I thought it was 1st and goal, wasn't it?
It was, and there we go.
Okay, yeah. The
technical difficulties beyond
there
our control.
There it is, 3rd and 14
there we go.
just to play. So they can get a first. I was right. They can get a 1st down. The ball was at the 14. They can go to the 4. That's 10 yards. I know. So it's a 3rd and long. I'll make it simple. We got things settled down. But this drive is taking up a lot of time off the clock. Jervis Chase is going to be sacked. And the defense comes shooting in.
72-74, I think, was in there.
Anthony Anelli in there. And Conte on the chase. Anelli pulls down. He picks up a sack. So it's 4th down, real long for the Lions. And this Dunmore defense playing with a lot of heart here on this opening drive. But again, they're taking almost 7 minutes off the clock. That's 7 minutes their offense can't score.
That's a long time for a defense to be out there, too, especially with the grinding of this offense.
Out into the flat. Completes it to Ryan. Hard hitting for Dunmore. He's going to be short, so the Bucks hold. And the Bucks will take over on downs at their own 15-yard line.
Nice job by number 17, Jeff McNeff for the Bucks. Quick hitting play. Look at this. Comes up, boom. Nice job.
13 plays, Coach. Over 7 minutes off the clock. Yardage doesn't mean anything. That's 7 minutes they kept this offense off the field.
And it's hard to make a comeback when you don't have the ball.
Well, that's the bad news for Dunmore. The good news is they have the ball, and they have it at the 15. They're down 4 scores. They're going to go to the running game, and that's going to go nowhere. Awesome defense shooting in. Number 4, Colby Schultes, the senior. 21 total tackles coming in, and pick up another one for a loss. That'll be 4th on the year for him.
Look at that, and just real solid tackling. You see he just grabs the leg. He's not twisting, doing anything, setting up, and he's getting help from number 5 and number 74. Doing a great job, Demetrius Douglas and Lucas Evans.
How difficult it is for Dunmore if they can't run the ball.
Well, their pass game hasn't been very effective this evening.
They play action. They're going to go long. They do have a receiver. Is it out there enough? It is incomplete. No, let's see what they say. Incomplete should be the call, and it is. Pika had it. Defense gets a hand in it, and it goes down on the ground.
Pika was looking for pass interference on this. Good job with the play action. Good ball. He had him beat by a step. He did lose it. Wow. He had him beat, but then give credit to 23 for not giving up Max Kimmel.
Kimmel, who leads the Lions with 3 interceptions, did a nice job as Pika got a hand on it. He took down that arm. But it was well placed by Bowen. But it now comes up with a 3rd and long. So now they're going to go 4 wides, and they're a little bit confused. 3 wides. They'll bring Hickey to guard. Just a 3-man rush. Bowen has a lot of room on that far side. Can he make it? No, he decides to throw it, and it goes incomplete.
That's been the bugaboo all night. They just can't get those receptions done. Bowen's trying to make something happen. He's rolling to his left. Now he's going to cut back to his right. The offensive line does a nice job, and he's just got to turn it into run.
Well, there was I don't know. There was a white jersey there, but there was a lot of open space on that side. He didn't make one man miss. Well, it goes incomplete, so it's a 3 and out, which has been the story of the night pretty much for this Dunmore team. Gallagher in to punt again, and he's doing his best to get the ball downfield. Yeah, there's another problem. It's a bad snap.
Safety. Oh.
And he's going to be down at the 1.
Did I do it? Did I finally commit the press box curse? Oh my. Last week against Riverside.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing that our NPF guys are saying that they cursed the Dunmore Bucks.
Well, you saw they are lucky that is not in the end zone. Bad snap. Gallagher did his best just to pick it up. Patterson falls at him, and you give the Lions the ball. First to goal at the 1.
Hat trick for Steve Jervis on the quarterback sneak.
You would think right now it's number 15 going to take it in. And that may just about do it for this Buck team tonight. They had opportunities. The defense held. But
how many times can you keep
right.
going to the
That's
well?
right. The Lions trail in this series 10-3.
Patterson.
So Patterson, his second score of the night. That's the easiest he'll have, a 1-yard touchdown.
Well, at least Dunmore's offense can now get back out. Hopefully, now they're going to have to start playing for some pride to get some yardage and get some points back into this game.
Holden Edwards back on the field to try the PAT. He's had some trouble with this one. He kicks it straight through, and this extra point is good. 3:50 left in the third quarter. All Lackawanna Trail here in Dunmore, the score 40-7. As I mentioned, it is homecoming here tonight. King and Queen have been named, and I believe Amanda has them down on the field. Congratulations.
Thanks, Bob. I'm joined by homecoming queen, Tiffany, and her escort, Albert. Tiffany, congratulations on being named homecoming queen. How special is it for you, and what does it mean for you to be named homecoming queen?
It means that it opens a lot of doors for especially me, because I wasn't really a lot in popular, I guess, in school, you could say. So it opens a lot of doors for me, and it's definitely helps me get out of my comfort zone a little bit. So it helps a lot.
I'm getting you out of your comfort zone on TV right now. So let's talk about some of the activities that you're involved in here at Dunmore.
I am in the esports club. Basically, it means it's basically a group of kids, or whoever can come and hang out and just play video games. And also you can compete with other schools. If they have the rights for it, they can compete.
Awesome. Albert, what an honor it is for you to be asked to be her escort.
Yeah, it is a very big honor for me to be able to do this and to help her be a big part of this big event.
What was the homecoming week like for you guys here at Dunmore?
Honestly, homecoming week was stressful for me because I wasn't really ready to commit to this part, but as soon as it kept coming down to the days, I was like, okay, I think I'm okay now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bob, back to you.
Well, congratulations to her. I'm glad she's coming out of her shell, and us with kids growing up, having teenagers, and a lot of us some of us do on the crew. I mean, it's nice. You want to enjoy your high school experience. You don't want to look back on it with negative thoughts.
And you know what? It is neat to see, and congratulations to her being crowned the queen. And she said she's out of her comfort zone. And what does that mean? That means the school, how they voted, it wasn't the popular kids. You know what I mean? So it gave everybody a chance to win. And it just, restores your faith in humanity that way sometimes when.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Amanda puts her on TV, so.
Not too much pressure.
Not too much
Amanda?
pressure, right? More pressure on her than this team. Bowen finds a hole up to the 40. Now I think it's just a matter of, next week, Dunmore, they'll take it on the road, not to give things up. They go up to Mid-Valley, right up the O'Neill Highway, right? Mid-Valley beating Susquehanna tonight. You don't want any more injuries. So at what point does Coach McHale weigh that versus maybe getting a little rhythm on offense going into next week?
He's going to keep the kids in there. They've got it because they really didn't produce anything offensively against a very good Lackawanna Trail defense. So it's not so much the injury. It's like, guys, what happened? This is one of those games where I know Coach McHale won't spend a ton of time. Nice run.
Yeah, Jake Hickey, the senior fullback, finally breaks free. And he's inside Lion territory.
And that's just right up the fullback trap, right up the gut. And that was Hickey, Jake Hickey, the entire time. Great effort. That's what Coach McHale wants to see. He knows what went wrong in this game. And he said it at the beginning of the half. We're not tackling, we're not blocking. And that's what they've got to start doing.
17-yard gain for Hickey. Bowen keeps it. Stiff arm to Kimmel, and he picks up positive yardage. About 6. Hops back up.
They go split back gun, and again, they do the RPO kind of fake on the inside. Bowen does a nice job. Look at that stiff arm right there. Get off me, get off me. And again, the Trail defense is just doing a great job pursuing today.
They're in the end of the third quarter, and about 2 minutes to go. Dunmore putting a little bit of a drive together. Pika is taken down short of the first down. Hunter Patterson on top of him. So it brings up third down now for the Bucks. And there you see the Lackawanna Trail student section. And the band on the far side cheering on the Lions.
They just run an ISO play, the fullback leading up through. And again, this is where this defense, I got to give credit to Coach Jervis and his defensive staff. They're just not giving the Bucks any room at all to run.
Next week they face a spread offense that we saw for game 1 with Riverside. So totally different offense they're going to see next week in the Vikings. But another double-A team they're playing. Bowen up through, Figueroa, first down and more. Still on his feet, gets inside the 25.
See, and this is going to keep this drive going. It's taking out time away from Trail. Nice job with the key blocks in there. You see number 12 come in there, Hunter Patterson, the senior linebacker, comes in, puts that first hit on, and then there's 2 more Lions that come in and add to it.
Now, this is not against the backup, folks. Lackawanna Trail does not have a big roster, so starters still out there for both teams.
Well, last week was the first time we saw Scranton Prep's first team play a full game.
Bowen, pump fake, looking, has a receiver. Is it caught? Great catch by Daniel Pika in the corner of the end zone. Got a foot down, and it's a Dunmore touchdown.
Just remember, folks, high school only needs 1 foot.
And there's no replay, no matter what you see.
We're the only ones that show a replay, and it doesn't matter what we think or say. Look at that. Yes,
no,
2 feet in.
He got 2 feet in,
2 feet in. Great job. Great concentration.
So Dunmore is still fighting in this one.
And that's why Coach McHale wants to keep his offense in there. To show, look, this is what we can do. This is what we have to do. Bad hold.
Bad snap, goes off the mark, and the score now 40-13, 45 seconds left in the third. We'll take a quick timeout. We are back. Before we went to break, there was a penalty on the PAT attempt. Reese then had another chance. He put it straight up, and that gives Dunmore 14 on the board, now 13. And there you see the score with 45 seconds left in the third. So a nice drive put together from the 33, their own 33. They take it down the field, and we talked about that rhythm. Maybe a little too late, but again, going into the game next week at Mid-Valley, which will be a tough one, it gives them something to look back on, to say we did something positive at least, right?
Right, and that first half, I'm sure Coach McHale told them obviously he told us they need to block and tackle better. They forgot it. They forgot about the first half. Now they came out second half, and they put together a real nice drive after an offense from Trail that chewed up over 7.5 minutes. So right now you can see Dunmore's schedule, what they have coming up. At Mid-Valley, that's going to be a heck of a game. Lakeland's in a rebuild year. Western Wayne, not too shabby. Honesdale putting the hammer down on Tunkhannock. At last, I think it was 44-6. West Scranton, Coach Minetti's done a great job down there. Even though the wins aren't there, they're doing the right things with the community. He's making sure the players are being held accountable on and off the field. So, only bright future for the West Scranton Invaders.
So Dunmore will face the rest of the way. Southern Columbia leading Danville now 38-17. That's in the fourth quarter, our number one team. So the Lions expecting the onside kick from Eric Reese. A little squibber. And it just goes down. Ryan goes down. That's actually the best special teams play the Dunmore Bucks could hope for here tonight. And the Lions will have the ball at the 14-yard line looking to put this game away and go into the fourth quarter. Honesdale beating Tunkhannock, you mentioned that, Coach, 51-6.
51, wow.
Substitution foul on the kicking team. The player came off the bench and did not establish himself on his side of the free kick line. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Well, that will drive Coach McHale
yeah, those
all
are
night. He might not sleep over that one. Came off. You heard Mike Serra call it. So explain that.
There were 10 guys on the field. There's supposed to be 11, and the 11th man went, oh, crap, I got to get myself out there. And he wasn't on the field to establish himself, and that's why that rule's in place.
So here we go again, kick number 2.
We've seen
so we had 2 PATs, and now we have 2 kickoffs.
And it's worked to Dunmore's advantage each time. So maybe this onside will work.
I like that positive attitude, Coach.
You got to.
I do. So the car vision needs on kickoff one more time. Squibber again. This is taken by Patterson. He goes right up the middle, and he keeps on moving. And again, Trail will start on the Dunmore side of the field.
And due to a special teams, not a lack of tackling.
And a penalty.
Yes.
So they're setting the chains. We're starting to see if there's another flag. I don't believe there is. They'll set the chains, and Trail will have the ball here. Probably the last play of the third quarter, one would suspect. At the Dunmore 48. So time not on the side of Dunmore at all. So now what's the holdup?
Substitution foul, 12-minute formation on the defense. 5-yard penalty, 1st and 5.
I will not want to be in that locker room after the game.
Those are the mental mistakes that Coach talked about for the keys to the game. That's what happens when you're distracted. Your head's not into the game. When 12 guys are on the field defensively, or 10 guys on the special teams, that's the stuff that does drive you crazy.
Gumbel already had over 100 yards tonight. Hasn't done much in the third. Hasn't had to, but that's a nice 14-yard gain for not only our spotlight player, but one of our players of the game.
Again, they're just doing what they do best. Go with the buck sweep to the outside. Nice little fake in there. I like how he dipped his shoulders down and then he cut back to the outside.
So that will do it. 3 quarters in the books. As you can see, we're going to quarter number 4 here on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals. It's that time of the night where we get to introduce you to our figured law firm scholar athletes. The last 2 weeks we met 2 football players from each team that were our scholar athletes, and tonight is no different. Both of our scholar athletes tonight are the quarterbacks of their teams. So let's get right to it. First, quarterback Stephen Jervis from Lackawanna Trail is the captain of the football team and a member of the baseball team. Stephen is his class president, president of the National Honor Society, and he's the vice president of student council and a member of both the National Spanish Honor Society and ski clubs. He volunteers at his church and in his community. After high school, Stephen would like to study physics in college with hopes of being a teacher or professor, and says he can see himself coaching. Thomas Bowen from Dunmore is the captain of the football, basketball, and tennis teams, and he was the May Student of the Month. Thomas is a member of the Teens Against Corporate Tobacco Club and a volunteer at St. Joe's and St. Rocco's. After high school, he plans on playing football in college, and he will study accounting. Again, 2 impressive kids, both on the field and off the field, getting things done in their community. It's always a pleasure to meet these kids before the game. And guys, I can't say enough good things about both of these players.
Absolutely.
I mean, wow.
We got to be smart to play quarterback, right?
Yes, you do.
So we know they're smart, and they do a lot in the community. And they're both helping their team here tonight. And they both will be eligible once they send a video in for a $5,000 scholarship, courtesy of MyTV, WQNY, and Figure Law.
Jake Hickey did a nice job from his linebacker position to stop that right, actually for a loss on that. That was a great job. Coach Jervis, just taking his time with this, take the time off naturally. There's no reason to rush these plays in.
Coach Jervis, 127 wins overall. Douglas is in the clear. He's in the secondary. 1 man to beat. He can't do it, but it'll be first and goal. Lackawanna Trail from the 7 inside the Kelly Mahindra red zone. And that was a Figured Law Firm first down.
Gabe Franick on the touchdown saving tackle here. They're just running their off tackle sweep. And watch this. Comes right in. Great angle pursuit. He wraps, and then he's going to try to punch the ball out with the strip and just forces them out of bounds, saving that touchdown.
Douglas has a touchdown tonight through the air, his first of the season. So Douglas, Gumbel, Patterson, Kimmel, they're all weapons. Add in Jervis. And this is a formidable Lackawanna Trail team in Class A, who you would think, to not look too far down the line, might meet Canton at some point as well. And we know Canton has been very good the past couple of seasons. They are beating South Williamsport tonight.
And Troy also is another from the NTL, the Northern Tier League. They're AA. Okay, so they won't see them, but still, they were putting a whooping on their opponent this evening too.
We have an injured Dunmore Buck. And again, that's not a sight. We already had 2 injuries in the first half for the Bucks. Both players were not able to return. So this is a time of year. How did you handle injuries and next man up? Because, there's a lot of injuries this time of year. It's a 5th game in. And really but the season that could weigh the season both ways.
It really can.
Injuries
And Bob,
can hurt.
What ends up happening is you're halfway through the season and the kids should know their position, so they've got to fill in.
As we mentioned, it is Military Appreciation Night, and Amanda's caught up with the person running it tonight and with the trophy as well, Amanda.
That's right. Joining me now is Sergeant Justin Roberts. What does this mean to you to have Military Appreciation Week? You're going to different schools around our community and to see all the guys out there in these military jerseys. How special is that for you?
Oh, it's great. The jerseys are awesome. It's great that the local community gets to support the local law enforcement, emergency services, and the military services. So it's an awesome event.
How many games are you guys doing so far? I know you guys were at Carbondale Tunkhannock last week, here this week. What other games are you doing?
We previously just did the Valley View game as well. And then in the future, I know we're doing Lackawanna Trail and Holy Cross coming up too.
if, some of these kids want to get involved with this, you're also a recruiter. So what are some of the benefits of becoming involved and enlisting?
So for the Army National Guard, you can enlist as early as 17. Some of the benefits include paid job skill training, 100% college tuition assistance, and just being able to serve your country and community.
Amazing. And let's talk about this award for tonight.
Yeah, so this was done by Superior Trophy out of Scranton. They graciously donated this for tonight's game for the winner. I hope that future games will be able to present them trophies as well.
Awesome. Well, we'll have 2 trophies tonight, guys.
That's right. We have our own FNR plaque, and the other trophy right there you saw of the football presented by the United States military. And right now we would have to think, and I think I'll make the prediction, I think Lackawanna Trail probably is going to win. Demetrius Douglas cuts in, good tackle, good touchdown-saving tackle in there.
Cooper Patterson was leading the way and kind of got in his way a little bit right in there.
Franek came in with an interception on the season, 8.5 tackles. That's a big one there to keep Trail out of the end zone once again. I mean, this Lackawanna Trail team, Coach, coming in averaging 40 points per game. You would think this is their toughest test of the year, 3-1 Dunmore team. Big line. A lot of talent on that Dunmore side, that they wouldn't put up 40, but they're going to not only put it up, they're going to surpass this. They scored 48 against Lake Lehman, and they'll be one short of that if the extra point goes through in a dominating performance here in Bucktown.
You just see, there it is. You see 72 get in there? Again, Cooper Patterson, his sophomore, is getting so much of the key blocks to spring those guys for these touchdowns. Now, great job by the offensive line.
Yeah, we're going to have players of the game brought to you by Manuka Subaru. But I think the players of the game, as the PAT goes to the right, is the offensive line. But we'll talk about that in a second. We need a break, the producer tells me, and we'll take it. 9:42 left in this one. It's all Trail here tonight. Back in Dunmore, Bob I, Don Seachak, Amanda Cool. This one pretty much over. 9:42 left in this game. Our number 5 team and our Friday night rivals, Countdown Lackawanna Trail, going to move to 5-0 on the season. And we talk about next week they go to Riverside down in Taylor. As Isaac Ryan does a nice job kicking off tonight. Little squibber. This is Dudick again. We called him name a lot. And remember, Dunmore does not have a freshman team, so you see a lot of freshmen. They have a junior high team, 7 and 8, 6, 7, 8th grade.
Right.
I think it's just 7, 8th graders. And they play in a junior high league where some teams have a freshman team. It's like 8th and 9th graders. So you'll see a lot of freshmen here playing for Dunmore.
Well, they're trying to get these young men the experience they need to be able to move up. And that's just been an unfortunate trend in football that we're not getting the numbers out. So what do you have to do? Some schools will pull the freshmen up. Some will try to keep them away from it because, all of a sudden the parents are thinking, wait, my son's only in 9th grade. He's playing against a senior, and it's not fair. So,
well, they have a point because we did see the hitting tonight. And, as a parent, you do get concerned.
Absolutely.
A 14-year-old and an 18-year-old,
yeah.
There's a big difference.
Anthony Palucci, as a freshman, speaking of, for Lackawanna Trail, made that first hit in there. That was a nice job. He just came in.
And that was Jackson Harding, a freshman, on the other side. And there you see in the quarterback now, Braden Canavan, a sophomore. So now both teams with the substitutions, and we'll try to keep track of those as well. Inside handoff and a fumble, but I think they called him down. Will Bonin, another freshman fullback.
Well, this is where, these young men are trying to show their coaches that they can play. And when, this is the only time they get a chance to really go out there and hone their skills against an opponent. Because when you're in practice, most of these kids are scout team. You know, unfortunately, they're going against the Dunmore's varsity team. They're starters.
I don't know for sure, but I would assume because of numbers, Lackawanna Trail does not have a JV team.
I don't think so. I mean, I think I counted a total of 31 players. So.
Yeah. Good tackle. 45.
45.
Yep, that's Wyatt Lados, a junior. Short of a first down. Some quick scores before fourth down. One game we're keeping an eye on because we have Scranton and Wyoming area next week as we look at this replay real quick. North Pocono led 27-6.
They did.
27-25 in the fourth quarter now.
Oh, boy.
So Scranton is making a comeback. And again, we will see them against Wyoming area next week. Wyoming area 5-0. They beat Hanover tonight 47-0.
Well, Coach Spencer, he knew he had a special team this year, reminiscent of their state run a few years ago. And Aaron Crossley is just quite a player for them.
Nice run. Figure law, first down inside Lion territory. That is Isaiah Parker, a junior. Held the ball nice. I like to see that on the outside.
High and tight. He had the points covered.
Nicholas, my son, said I have a pet peeve for that because every time I see a player have it on the wrong side, I get like.
I do the same thing.
You do the same thing.
I really do. It's like.
So, I like the form there. Hold the ball high and making a nice run and keeps this drive alive for Dunmore. Unfortunately, he came off the field.
And he cramped
up. Maybe. Good handoff over to Harding. The freshman, Jackson Harding, 5'8", good yardage up to the 8.
And that was Kaysen Ware, the junior defensive back, making the stop for Trail.
Mid-Valley beats Susquehanna 35-8, so another tough test at Mid-Valley next week in their beautiful stadium.
New facility, yeah.
Yeah. Riverside wins, so 42-14 over Mahanoy area, so that's who Trail will have next week.
Speaking of new facilities, Honesdale broke theirs in tonight with a big win over Tunkhannock.
Yep. West Scranton pulls off a nice shocker over Hazleton area. They're winning 34-27. The report just in the third quarter, so we'll take a look at that. Holds on to the ball. That's Harding. Good movement up inside the 30 to the 26.
And that was Holden Edwards, a sophomore, 5'8", 150-pound linebacker that came in. He got driven off the ball right there, but you see he comes back in.
He has done the kicking tonight.
And Drew Kilmer, the junior linebacker, too, getting some action there for the Lions.
I believe Crestwood will. Is that their first victory if they win? Their second.
It'll be their second.
Yeah. They beat Williamsport 28-3. Excuse me. Harding getting into the stat book tonight. Up quickly.
Well, Trail's got a big boy out there, James Razmovich, a junior, 6'1", 345 pounds.
Nice.
It's nice to see, that coach is getting all his kids a chance to get out there and be, participate in this. Unfortunately, we used to say you could tell how hard a player played by how dirty their clothes are. When you're playing on turf,
it's hard to tell,
It's hard
right?
to tell.
Well, if they have some blood on their knees, right, and stuff like that.
You get coated in the rubber beads.
Yeah. Play action. Canavan, you look downfield, and he connects. Is that 97? Logan Miller?
It says 97.
Touchdown, Dunmore. 20 yards. Canavan to Miller, the freshman.
Number 58 starting to put some pressure on him. That's Blake Borick. He's a senior, but just not enough.
Nice little drive put together by some of the backups for Dunmore.
Well, that's what, as a coach, you want to see your kids be successful, whatever level. This this is where confusion sets in also when you have your younger kids playing on special teams. Good kick. It's up.
Yep, and that is good. So 21 on the board for Dunmore. Let's take a look at this touchdown one more time from the ground angle.
Nice job. It's just a nice little rollout. Good ball. Nice tight spiral. Good placement and a touchdown. That, so Logan Miller's going to be going, yeah, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
You see Coach Rebar right there with the black vest on.
You're watching Friday Night Rivals on my TV, WQMY.
Dunmore cheerleaders before the game, welcoming us here back to Bucktown. After this tonight, I don't know if anybody is. They're going to close the gates when we call.
No, I'm blaming NPF radio guys. They're the ones they're the ones that said they're the ones putting the whamma jamma on the Bucks.
Let's talk Abingdon Heights football, beating Wallenpaupack by 7 late in that game. Trying to go to 4-1. Paupack trying to hang on. We're going to see in 2 weeks, 2 weeks, Wallenpaupack and North Pocono. Should be a tight game. And both teams going to be battling for playoff spots.
And we're going to see Jonathan Gumble, Wallenpaupack, showing his pride when he's one of our great cameramen on the sideline.
Yeah, against our producer Steve Phillips, a North Pocono guy. So they're going to duke it out, I think, before the game.
I'll put my money on Gumble.
It's good. I know. I think it's. I think it's rock paper scissors.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we got things teed up. Finally, we got the right personnel on the field. Reese has it ready to go for a CarVision Nissan kickoff, and it goes deep.
Jeez.
Big hole for Rosenkrantz, number 24. Now, Monday, I've been here to Dunmore practice. They do special teams. I think they're going to do a lot of it this week.
They're going to be doing a lot. You can just see right there, folks, that big gap between 81 and 50, and that's where they ran. When you're coaching special teams, you want to tell them to maintain lane integrity, stay in your lane, and then you cast the net, and then you pull it in. That's how we used to teach it at Kings all the time. Just so that they understand, if they move out of their lanes by 2 yards, which those two young men did, they both went to the right and their left. It created a gaping hole in there for Rosenkrantz, who took off like a rocket.
4:30 left in this game. Dunmore takes a time out, I believe. Lackawanna Trail comes back out. They're going to huddle up. And we'll take a look at what we have in the future right here on my TV as we head to week number 6. We'll get to see our number 18 Wyoming area next week, trying to stay undefeated against a very good Scranton team who's making a nice comeback tonight. We'll have Paupack against North Pocono trying to hang on, and we'll see Delaware Valley at Valley View. That should be a nice one on Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
Scary. I know.
It will be. And
you will not be there.
Unfortunately, I won't be there. My niece is getting married that weekend.
But we have a special guest, though.
I heard.
Should we tell or just let it be a surprise?
I might be being replaced. I don't know.
I don't think it'd be replaced, but, I mean.
No, I have a lot of respect, and I'm actually Friday night probably going to be, after the rehearsal dinner, I'll probably be watching you guys. And
that will be myself and the former Valley View coach George Hawanitz in the booth.
I just want to know what outfit he's going to wear. He's worn some crazy outfits when we've had media days. I mean, he dresses to the nines. It's awesome. He has a lot of fun with it.
I think he knows what he's talking about, right? I mean,
I think so. I think
he did lead his team to a state title in high school.
A district a bunch of district
defense at
champions,
Bucknell.
Yeah.
Won some district titles as a coach. I don't know.
His kids were a quarterback.
More than me. What do you got, Coach? Holden Edwards. The kicker. Getting a carry. He'll be in the rushing stats tonight.
He's like, hey, Coach, not only can I kick, I can run the ball. Well, number 55, Will Kilmer, the junior, 250-pound, playing center there. It's nice to see these guys. Again, this is their time to get that experience. So when coach has to go to the next man up, they've been in this situation before.
Little sweep action. Gavin Mulhern, a senior, getting a carry. And Mulhern is on his horse. Mulhern trying to get a touchdown. Take it down at the 5. 39-yard scamper, and we have an injured Buck downfield. Let's look at this one again.
Again, it's just that outside sweep, and look at this. He just cuts it back inside, then whoop to the outside. I'm not going to say he's turning the Jets on. He just kept striding, baby. He just kept it going.
So we'll take a timeout.
It's 24 for the Bucks.
Isaiah Parker, we think. We'll see if the uniform match. That's what's on his helmet. But Parker now banged up as well. The trainer today for Dunmore getting a workout. They always do a nice job. Here's what Lackawanna Trail has coming up. Some winnable games on the way. Their big rival, Old Forge, not having a typical Blue Devil year, even though they won tonight.
Correct.
Maybe I was wrong. I guess I said Riverside before.
Yeah.
Then at Carbondale.
And then Holy Cross. And again, Holy Cross has, I think, 22 players. They give it everything they got week in and week out, and they've had a little bit of success over the last couple of years. Susquehanna is going to be key for them at the end of the year because that's always a great game. Excuse me, Susquehanna's well coached, and they always have year in and year out. They're really pretty good up there. We don't hear much about them. But, again, the teams they play, they do a really nice job with.
Yeah, I was mistaken. I will take the blame on that. They do get Old Forge, and they get Riverside. I must have said twice they're going to Riverside next week. They are not. They're going to welcome in the Blue Devils in a rivalry game. The two Class A teams, which will automatically move into the district finals. That's the first week of playoffs of November, and then they play like a regional after that. So we do have an injured player down on the field again for Dunmore. 2:54 left in this one.
And you see Coach Jervis and Coach McHale, they're talking, making sure that the players are okay. And our officials tonight, our official this evening, Father, Sarah doing a nice job making sure everything is good.
And remember, folks, they are looking for officials throughout this country and, most important, the state. Some games, in like the Lehigh Valley have had to go to Thursday games. They have not been forced to do that quite yet up here. I know there's been talk, but they've been able to fill in here and there. So we have an injured Buck on the field. We'll take a quick timeout as we come to near the end of this one here on MyTV. Well, we hope the best for Isaiah Parker coming off the field with some help from his teammates. Again, a bunch of Bucks have gone down tonight with injuries headed into next week's game at Mid-Valley. So we wish him all the best. Absolutely. Right, Coach?
Absolutely. And again, my heartfelt thanks always goes out to all the training staffs because
absolutely.
You want them to be bored out of their minds on a Friday night, not have any action. And when they get called into action, they do a tremendous job all the way around taking care of these young men. And women, because I know there's been a few girls that have been playing in the league this year.
So Lackawanna Trail, a couple starters in there now as they head towards the end zone. Their first and goal inside the Kelly Mahinger red zone at the 4. And not sure what the hold is up from Mike Sarah is. It's not our timeout. And we're set. Trail does a sportsmanlike thing, take a knee on first and goal. So I'm sure Mike Sarah will not run the 40-second clock until absolutely necessary. here, up 46-21 the score.
And I'm sure that's what Coach Jervis was talking to Coach McHale about, saying, look, we're just going to take a knee. Let's get out of here. Just an update.
And considering the injuries as well. Go ahead, update, Coach.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that North Pocono-Scranton game, final, Scranton 33, North Pocono 27. They came back.
They did.
Wilkes-Barre area over Berwick. Crestwood 28-3 over Williamsport. Another knee taken. 45-0. Dallas over Valley West. Nanacoke 42-0 over Lake Lehman.
So in that Scranton game, Billy Maloney hit Chandler on a 2-point conversion with 36 seconds left. After a 19-yard touchdown pass, Maloney to Oliver Almonte. That sealed the deal for Scranton. We'll have the Knights in Wyoming area next week. 5-0 versus 4-1.
Well, and again, we saw Scranton get dismantled last week against Scranton Prep. But I'll tell you what, Scranton, they really have had a great season this year. And Coach Chumbers, is getting those kids involved and knowing what they have to do to be successful.
So this one's in the book. It took a little while, and we wish all the best to the injured Dunmore folks. But this one, folks, dominated by the Lackawanna Trail Lions tonight here in homecoming in Bucktown. Final score 46-21. Amanda will have our players to the game. Stephen Jervis, the quarterback, and Lucas Gumbel, the senior running back. We'll talk to them. They get 2 trophies and a plaque, 1 trophy and a plaque. That's 2 altogether. I know.
1 plus 1. I got you.
Yes,
I understand what you're saying there, Coach. I do.
Okay. So we'll give that hardware out, and we'll set you up for next week here. It turned out to be a long night in Dunmore, and Bucks back to work. It's up to Mid-Valley next week. Mid-Valley 4-1. Dunmore now going to fall to 3-2. Last second thoughts. So once we get Amanda's, we can.
Well, congratulations to the Trail Lions. They did a tremendous job on all 3 phases of the game. The only thing Coach is going to work on is his extra point. And for Dunmore, they lost 2 key offensive players. They've got to figure out who's going to be the next man up for them, and they got to get ready next week for a great Mid-Valley team. So they've got their work cut out for them. But Coach McHale, he knows, he's been down this road before. He knows what it's going to take for the Bucks to be successful.
So Lackawanna Trail with an impressive win over Dunmore, making the trip down from Factoryville. It'll be a nice bus ride home for them. Amanda with their players of the game.
That's right. Congratulations, Lucas Gumbel and Stephen Jervis. Great game for you guys. How good does it feel to come out on top?
I mean, it feels great. We had a lot of people doubting us, a lot of people in the newspaper saying we're going to lose by a couple scores, but we came out here and showed them what trail football is all about and let them know.
A lot of preparation went into this week. What were some of the keys to success in tonight's game?
Just the attention to detail and really following our rules. Execution was definitely the key. Everyone knowing their job and doing it at a very high level. I think it was a great team effort all around.
Undefeated so far. Is this a game that you guys can gauge where you're at so far in the season looking ahead?
I mean, yeah, this was a very good football team. But like I said, we're just going to take it 1 week at a time, and every game is just as important as the next.
How can you take the momentum from tonight looking ahead for next week?
I mean, we're very excited about next week. We got to keep our heads on our helmets, not let our heads get too big, not too confident, but we also got to be ready. Old Forge, they have good coaching staff, homecoming game, and hopefully we have a good game, good week.
And Stephen, what's the goal for you guys for this season?
This season, just take it 1 week at a time, and every time we go on the field, we compete, and we're out here to win.
Congratulations, guys. Best of luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you. Perfect. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
Not looking too far ahead for Trail, but I'll look ahead. They could be a very dominating team come playoff time in Class A. It remains to be seen. As long as they stay healthy, they could be very good. 2 guys with great heads on their shoulder with the right attitude.
And they're well-balanced offensively. Defensively, they're playing really stingy, and Coach wanted them to line up fast, and they did. They played fast. They played aggressive. So those extra points, he's gonna have to work, because that against a team from the western part, when they go into that state run, could be the difference in a game.
Okay, as we mentioned, Scranton pulls off the victory over North Pocono tonight. That sets up our matchup next week. It'll be the Knights and the Warriors down at Jake Soboleski Field in Exeter. That will be on the air at 7 o'clock. And don't forget, our Friday Night Rivals Top 10 Countdown airs every Tuesday night on the Fox 56 1st to 10. For Amanda Kuhl, for Jan Cechek, and the entire Fox 56 sports crew, thanks for joining us here from Bucktown. There's the final score, everyone. Dominating performance from the Lions.
You're watching Manuka Subaru Friday Night Rivals, sponsored by USA Metal Roofs on MyTV WQMY.